short has really been a key for this Orioles team. We talk about the strength up the middle. Well, J.J. Hardy has played every day out there, and somebody that they call on for consistency, and he is a team leader in the middle of the field, especially now with Machado at third base, somebody to look forward or look to for advice and help out there. Just a great leader on the field.
And Mike, we ought to talk about Eric Ibar, because he was the Gold Glove winner at shortstop last year, and sometimes that is an award that tends to just carry over even when the player getting it may not be as good as he was the first year he won it.
Well, you're right, but I'll tell you what, the Orioles are on the map now, so they're getting recognized, and people are trying to find out ways. Why are they winning so many games this year? Well, J.J. Hardy is certainly a huge key to that success, so his name is on the map. He's always been considered a real solid shortstop, but the fact that the Orioles are winning, he's got to be first in line for contention for the Gold Glove this year.
All right, and for the Orioles coming together, what Mike was talking about, speaking to that today before the ball game, was the skipper, Buck Showalter, who has always talked about how proud he is of the players and what they've gone through, and today kind of put it in a very concise phrase. Listen in.
This is hard to do what they're doing. It's hard to do it in New York and Tampa, and everybody's competing for it. That's why it's so gratifying if you can pull it off. These are the best players in the world, and I keep that in mind every day. And it's, every time you go out there, people are always constantly showing your failures. That's it. You got a chance to, but they're in their arena, and they understand the job description, and I trust them.
Yeah, he trusts them indeed. But it's established and set up in spring training. Buck Showalter pays so much attention to detail. He wants his players, or expects his players, to be prepared the right way. He set the tone in spring training, and they've all followed suit. Now they're looking to each other for leadership, just the way managers are supposed to set up their teams. J.J. Hardy being a great leader, Matt Wieters, Adam Jones, and everybody following suit from there.
And he finally said it today, something we mentioned on the air the other night. This is the point in the season where you find out who the manager believes in. And he said today, look, he was asked about changing lineups. He said, we're not here to take a look at people. We aren't here to experiment. We aren't doing something today to try and set the stage for what we might do a month from now, because we aren't going to do anything in November and December. We're doing things to win today. You're going to see who he likes the rest of the season.
That's right, for sure. The guys that he's going to call upon are going to have to step up, but they have great role models. I just mentioned Jones and Wieters and Hardy. Everybody has to step up and do their part now.
All right, we'll see if they can get it done tonight. We're ready. Settle back and enjoy here on this beautiful evening at Camden Yards. Orioles took the opener last night, guarantee themselves a series win if they can take this one. game time temperature with clear skies above 79 degrees. Visit Train.com for an independent train comfort specialist dealer near you. It's hard to stop a train. For Joe Madden's Rays, their starting lineup brought to you by Dodge. Upton, Keppinger, Zobrist, Longoria, Francisco Pena starts tonight. Roberts is back, came out last night, but back into play. And Joyce and Molina, Upton this month. Big offensive spree. See your authorized Dodge dealer and experience a world of performance, design, and fuel efficiency. Schedule a test drive or go to Dodge.com and check out their powerful lineup.
And here's tonight's AFCIA intelligence report for Miguel Gonzalez. Visit AFCIA.org, the Association for IT Pros. Extra rest. Boy, it's been beneficial for Miguel Gonzalez. His last outing against the Yankees just 2 starts ago. He was working on extra rest. Had his strongest outing of the year with 9 strikeouts and going 7 innings. He's working on a couple days extra rest tonight, so he should be strong. Fastball location has been a key for Miguel all year long. He's able to locate it in and out. He will double up sometimes inside to these Tampa Bay hitters. Be prepared. Joe Madden really likes to push the envelope, but Miguel has done a good job fielding his position this year.
Upton will lead it off and take the pitch inside for a ball, and we are underway. The fewer hits than innings pitched. Lefties the advantage in average. Home runs pretty much spread out. Upton's got one. Way back. Nobody's even moving. Oh, my, did he launch that goodbye home run. E.J. Upton, who's got home run power, showed it right there, and there was absolutely no question off the bat about that one. And it is a 1-0 lead on the first batter to the plate as Upton gets his 22nd and his 67th RBI.
Oh, Miguel Gonzalez trying to get ahead here. This fastball pretty much right down Broadway. Upton, who's been pretty hot lately, hitting the home run, gets another one here.
So quickly they jump out to the 1-0 lead, and that'll be Upton's first hit. He had an 0 for 4 in the ball game last night. Boy, did he crunch that. So that'll be the 12th home run surrendered. 7 have been hit by right-handers against Gonzalez. Keppinger with a 3-game hit streak had a 1 for 4 in the ball game last night, and he will get around on that one and foul it off. Gonzalez had home run problems early in his rounds with the Orioles. 9 home runs in his first 5 starts, but he'd allowed only 2 in the last 6 coming into this ball game. And the pitch will be taken down low, and a 2-ball 1-strike count on Keppinger.
Well, just trying to establish that fastball, and I'd mentioned about it being a key for him. And obviously the Tampa offense ready to jump on some early fastballs here like Upton.
And that one goes to center straight away. No breeze blowing at the start of the ball game. Jones puts it away.
Let's take a look at the Orioles defense tonight. Nate McLouth in left field, Jones in center, Chris Davis getting the start in right, Machado and Reynolds on the corners, Hardy and Andino once again up the middle, and Matt Wieters doing the catching.
That will bring up the left-hander Zobrist. Zobrist, switch hitter, 280 right, 254 left. This is his power side. 13 of his 16 home runs have been hit from this side of the plate. And he will foul that one away, and it's clear that after looking at the video, the Rays decided he throws first pitch strikes, and we're going to go after him.
Well, that's right, but I'll tell you what, as the game goes on, Miguel Gonzalez's secondary pitches become so important. He has a great changeup and a nice little slider. But if he can get ahead, and we've seen him get ahead with his off-speed stuff as well, so he'll start mixing that in. He can get a lot of swing and misses.
Zobrist an 0 for 3 in the only times he has faced the Orioles right-hander. Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way. Zobrist will take the breaking ball. Against Tampa, 2 starts for Gonzalez. He's 0-1, ERA of 6.5. Matched up against David Price, 7 innings on August 5 in a ball game in St. Pete. And the chopper foul in that ball game against Tampa Bay. Gave up no runs on just 2 hits in 7 innings and was non-decisioned in the ball game. He and Price waged a real duel. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Longoria waiting on deck batting cleanup. 2-2 delivery. Zobrist will take it away. And the count will go full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, Miguel Gonzalez is no stranger to tough situations. Obviously faced some tough lineups: the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Rangers, Tampa Bay here in this situation. But he's been through some pressure cooker situations, and he's come out on top and really established himself as a quality starter in this league.
He surrenders the walk with 1 away. Now Longoria coming up. Longoria both DHing and playing at third base since coming off the DL. He's at third in this game. He had an 0 for 3 in the ball game last night. This is the first series that he's been in the lineup for the Rays against the Orioles. He missed the first 12 games these two teams played as he was on the DL. He will take that one for a strike. Longoria with the 0 for 3 in the ball game last night. Clean up as a DH and struck out the last 2 times up in the ball game. Gonzalez with a look over is the 0-1 delivery, and that'll be foul back.
Take a look at Miguel Gonzalez against the lowest opponent batting average versus right-handers. Miguel Gonzalez on that list at just .215, so certainly has a lot of success against the righties. Fearless when throwing in. Yu Darvish leading the way. Great rookie campaign, just .197. Pretty good list of some great pitchers there. Miguel Gonzalez on it.
2-strike count on Evan Longoria. Zobrist off first base. Longoria takes it up high. 1-2. Early on, at least, Gonzalez getting a lot of pitches up, and that's dangerous. That's the one that Upton launched on. We saw Keppinger hit a couple of foul balls on pitches that were up. 1-2. Zobrist, pretty decent lead over there. He's got 14 stolen bases, caught 9 times, and Gonzalez will step off. Zobrist does not respond, just kind of stood there. Just challenging him to go ahead, throw over here. He'd like to get a look at the move for one thing. 1-2. And that's fouled back into the screen as Longoria's trying to drill the long ball with those cuts.
Well, part of Miguel Gonzalez's game is because he has such good secondary pitches, try to sneak that fastball by hitters with 2 strikes, and that's what he tried to do with Longoria right there.
Gal will stay at 1-2. Zobrist hasn't extended the lead. Here's the 1-2 delivery, and the breaking ball will miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Orioles have done a great job holding down Tampa Bay. They've only, coming into this game, Tampa Bay had scored only 2 runs in the last 30 innings that these teams have played as the Oriole pitching had shut them down, holding them to the 2 runs in last night's game on 5 hits. And will throw over this time, and Zobrist back.
Well, they got what they wanted there. Zobrist extending that lead, one-way lead in that situation, just to see what kind of move Miguel was going to offer tonight.
2-2. Longoria again fouls it back. So creating a long at bat here and forcing a lot of pitches to be thrown, as the count will stay at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 18 thrown so far in the game. Joe Maddon's team 77 wins, 2 games behind the Yankees and Orioles. But Showalter's team with the 79 wins, tied with the Yankees for first place. Here's the 2-2 delivery again, and that's down low, and the count goes to 3-2.
Longoria not even flinching on that nice changeup by Miguel Gonzalez in the bottom of the zone. Pretty good swing and miss pitch for Miguel.
See if Zobrist takes off here or not with a 3-2 1 away. And Dino's moved over close to second, playing him to pull in the infield. 3-2, runner not going, and he walked him. So that's 2 walks in a row. So a homer, 2 walks, and a fly ball out to the first 4 hitters for the Rays in the game. 2 on, and Ben Francisco coming to the plate. And that will send Wieters out, and Reynolds coming over to chat.
Well, he made some pretty good pitches there on Longoria, but Longoria showing that he has a great hitter's eye, laying off some borderline, actually tough pitches in the zone. That last pitch, a little slider on the outside corner, just missed, maybe 3 or 4 inches off the plate. A lot of hitters, he will get a chase with that pitch.
Looking for the ground ball for the double play. Runners off first and second base. Ben Francisco, and he'll foul that one back. Francisco had a 1 for 4 in the ball game last night. He has been hot. He's appeared in 8 of the 10 games, 6 as a starter now. 30-year-old outfielder, acquired from the Astros. 0-1 count. Francisco fouls that one back. He's had one of the better years for a Rays player. Granted, he's new because of the deal, but he's hitting .300 against the Orioles this season. 0-2 count. Zobrist, Longoria off second and first. And the 0-2 delivery. That's going to be lined to short. There's one, and there's two. The line drive to Hardy gets them out of the inning. The Upton home run gives the Rays the 1-0 lead. The Orioles brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It'll be McLouth, Hardy, and Jones, Wieters, Benavides, and Reynolds, Davis, Machado, and Andino. For Nate McLouth, #1 hitter, 2012. He's gone 4 for 12, a double, and 3 runs from that spot.
And here's the AFC intelligence report for Alex Cobb tonight. He is a rolling Ray in his last 7 starts, 5-0 with a .325 earned run average, and has really pitched well for them overall. 9-8 with a 4.28 earned run average. Has a 3-pitch mix with a sinker and a curveball and a change. Has some deception in his delivery. Throws across his body, and he isn't afraid to throw his off-speed pitches early in the count to try to get some weak contact or swing and misses. And he's a ground baller as well. A good sinker. If he works it in the bottom of the zone, he actually leads the American League in ground ball ratio, and he's only given up 9 home runs since being called up on May 19th.
So the Orioles get a look at yet another good young pitcher. Right-handers have had the advantage. He's been much better at home than he has on the road. 4-3 on the road with an ERA of 5.3. He's about a run better when he's pitched at the Trop, and the batting average is about 30 points higher on the road than it is at home.
And here's a look at the Rays defense tonight. Francisco back in left field, Upton in center, Joyce in right field, Longoria and Pena on the corners tonight. Zobrist and Roberts up the middle, with Molina doing the catching. Of course, Roberts injured that wrist last night in the ball game when Nate McLouth slid into him at second base. So good to see him back in the lineup for the Rays.
They are happy to have him back as Sean Rodriguez continues out on the DL. And Jennings still not playing for them. He was supposedly Desmond Jennings is going to be back in the lineup for this game. He's missing another one, his 4th in a row. McLouth's on with a base hit. That didn't take long. So Nate McLouth doing the same thing Tampa Bay hitters are doing right after that first pitch off Cobb, who grounds one up the middle.
That's right, taking advantage of first pitch fastball. Starting off the game, pitchers like to get ahead, establish themselves early, where Nate McLouth and B.J. Upton certainly well aware of that and aggressive out of the chute.
Hero from last night, and what a night it was for Hardy. With the 2 home runs and 5 RBIs in the ball game. We showed you the numbers Hardy's putting up here in September. The Orioles shortstop with the glove and with the bat making an enormous difference. 4 for 5, 2 homers last night, and the slider is in there for a strike. See the home run leaders this season for the Orioles. Not surprising to see Jones or Davis, Mark Reynolds, but Hardy right there with him with 21.
Yeah, Mark Reynolds, of course, 8 home runs about 3 weeks ago. Just went on a home run tear to get his number up to 21 at this point.
The 0-1 count. McLouth not going. Pitch fastball that time. Ties him up and is in there for a strike. His 5 RBIs last night, a season high, was his 9th multi-homer ball game, and the 2nd one he has had this season. His 2nd 4+ hit game of the year as well. 0-2 count on Hardy. Cobb gets it in. That's the hole. That's a base hit. And the Orioles come right back to get runners on at first and second base with nobody out.
Some hot bats finding some holes early in this ball game. Nate McLouth with that seeing high single up the middle, and then J.J. Hardy shooting one through the 5-6 hole, pulling an off-speed pitch for the base hit.
Well, the Orioles get a chance to get right back, get that run back, and maybe more. There's Adam Jones with that 288, and the 29 home runs will stand in. Orioles with a couple of quick singles. Orioles were 4 for 9 with runners in scoring position in the ballgame last night. They have been hot when given a chance to get a run in of late. Jones launches one left center field. Upton there, just got it. Upton actually overran that ball and had to back up and was just tall enough to haul that in.
Well, that was about as athletic of a play as you're going to see. Adam Jones rips this ball into the gap, and it had some hair on it at the end. But what a great effort there by B.J. Upton. Takes a pretty aggressive pursuit angle, kind of over boogies on it. But you see him have to reach behind him after he makes that leap to make the play. And what a play it was.
So that is the first out, and the runners get back to first and second. Now Wieters, the cleanup batter. He'll take a strike. Wieters had a 3 for 3 in the ball game last night. Double, 2 singles, and 2 RBIs. The Orioles, over the last 7 ball games coming into this one, are hitting .391 with runners in scoring position over the last 7 games. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Wieters will watch it inside, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
It's good to see that number picking up. Of course, a lot of hot bats in the Orioles lineup right now, so those numbers are going to be on the rise, but all year kind of scuffled in that situation with runners in scoring position.
Orioles still as a team ranked 10th in the league. That's going to get down for a base hit. Making the jump is McLouth. He'll make the turn. They're bringing him home. Francisco's throw not in time. RBI for Wieters in a tie game.
Nice job right here by Matt Wieters. Well, off-speed pitch, fights it off over to left field. Nate McLouth with not the greatest jump, but DeMarlo Hale well aware of that arm from Francisco, being aggressive earlier in the game. Nate McLouth scoring easy with that speed.
So the Orioles get it right back and have tied the ball game up. 3 hits in the inning. Now here's Wilson Betemit. Betemit is the designated hitter in the ball game. Did not play in the game last night. And he puts one to right center. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Hardy will come around to score. Wieters heading to third. Throw, not in time. Runner advancing. And the Orioles getting it done. Have a 2-1 lead.
Oh, another big hit here. Wilson Betemit driving this ball up and out over the plate. Driving it to right center. B.J. Upton doing a great job getting to this ball. See J.J. Hardy scoring early. Matt Wieters aggressive on the bases. Strong throw from Upton. If it's on line, he's probably out. See Longoria read the throw there. Comes off the base. And Wilson Betemit says, the heck with it. I'm heading into second base. Nice aggressive base running early in the ball game by the O's.
Betemit gets his 40th RBI. Why would Buck Showalter start Wilson Betemit as he points over to Wieters in this ball game? He has no numbers against Cobb. His batting average against Tampa Bay is 133.
Gut reaction, gut feel. I think Buck has that.
Another that button sense. Pushed.
Yeah, he has great sense as a manager. Obviously knowing that Wilson Betemit could come up big here in the last couple weeks as well.
Now 2 in scoring position. That will bring up Mark Reynolds. Reynolds had an 0 for 4 in the ball game last night, but he's had 9 home runs over the last 11 ball games. And we showed you at the top of our broadcast yet one of the number of Oriole hitters who's having a really good month. 1 down, and the pitch will be in the outside corner for a strike. You see, for Mark Reynolds, the best month he's ever had was in August of 09. 11 homers, 21 RBIs, 277. This month, average is better. He's already got 7 home runs, and he's already got 14 RBIs. He's got a shot at having the best month he has ever had in his career. 0-1 count.
His confidence is skyrocketing. I'll tell you what, you get a confident hitter up there in the box, and they can do a lot of damage, especially when you have that power potential like Mark Reynolds has.
He has not had a hit in his last 8 at-bats. 0 for his last 8, including the 0 for 4 in the ball game last night. Really good season numbers with runners in scoring position. One of the best of the O's in that department. He's got Wieters on at third. Betemit at second. 0-2 delivery. That's outside. And Cobb takes it to a ball and 2 strikes. Cobb's throwing all strikes.
Yeah, and the Orioles are hitting all strikes. Aggressive offense. We talked earlier about them, how hot they were offensively. Well, you throw strikes and they are going to be aggressive in the zone.
Reynolds will stand out and Cobb will back off. Only 24 years old, 20th start of the season, 10th that he's had on the road. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Reynolds takes that one outside. As the book, I'm sure, is showing on Reynolds since the All-Star break, not going to help you by swinging at pitches that are not in the strike zone. 64 walks. Yes, he does have 135 strikeouts. But those 64 walks, he's been in and out of the top 10 in walks. And got him on a pitch down low and gets a big strikeout.
It looks like a little changeup here down at the bottom of the zone. Has pretty good delivery there. Oh, split finger. Dropping hard at the end. 86 miles an hour. Tough pitch to lay off, and Mark did not there.
Nissan's bottom line sales event going on. Hurry in today for big savings. Visit ChooseNissan.com to test drive at your local dealer. Bottom line event ends October 1st. So that will leave it up to Chris Davis. Davis with 2 down, 2 in scoring position. The Orioles have 2 runs in and a 2-1 lead. Davis a 1 for 4 in the ball game last night. And the pitch way inside to him. Davis getting his 25th home run. It came in the 7th inning. 17 of his 25 this year have been hit here at Camden Yards.
Oh, some monster strength on that swing there. Up and away breaking ball. He just pushed out over the left field fence. Power to all fields. If he gets on one to right field, it goes a long way though.
Davis 279 with runners in scoring position. 1-0 delivery, a bouncer. Not far enough for Wieters to move up. And we'll see a bunch of that. Moles bouncing around home plate with Cobb on the mound. He's had 7 wild pitches and 8 hit batters. So Molina will be busy, because when he throws that breaking ball, he will bounce it, trying to get hitters to go after it.
That's right. Well, he throws all of his pitches about equally, and he likes to induce those swing and misses with the breaking balls down in the dirt. Even that split finger likes to bounce. Throws that pitch so hard, comes in looking like a fastball, and then just drops at the end.
Home runs have been a problem for him of late, which would indicate the ball maybe getting up a little bit. He's allowed 5 home runs in the last 23 innings over his last 4 starts. He'd given up only 4 in the previous 90. One ball.
Definitely elevating in the zone is a problem there, but the fact that he is a young pitcher and now going around through the league probably the 2nd or 3rd time, the team's making adjustments on him, and the scouting reports are out.
Molina's going to go out to have a word. Longoria is going to come into third base with a young pitcher trying to find the final out here, and the Orioles trying to get a big hit. Pat Heggie, the pitching coach, taking a look.
Take a look at Alex Cobb, getting better since July. In July, that earned run average way up at 5.32. Made consistent improvements through August, and now in September, just a 2.57 earned run average and a 167 opponent batting average. So settling down, of course, called up in May, thrown into the starting situation, and maybe some nerves early on, but better command of his off-speed pitches have equaled success for him down the stretch.
2-1 delivery on the way, and Davis will fight that one off. And the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. The big first inning here, both these teams, the Upton home run leading it off. Orioles coming right back, getting the first 2 on. McLeod and Hardy, they both have scored on Wieters and Betameet base hits.
Well, you saw those stats there, how well he's been pitching through August and September, but I'll tell you what, he's making mistakes up in the zone right now, and the Orioles bats are just making him pay. And a lot of pressure on him in this game.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. First base open. Manny Machado waiting on deck. The Orioles leading Tampa Bay in the season series now, 7-6. Orioles, of course, finish up at Tampa Bay in the final 3 games of the season. 3-2 delivery. Davis takes it, and they're loaded.
That was a really good take right there by Chris Davis. Probably his best split finger to this point in the ball game. He's thrown a lot of pitches. He got Mark Reynolds to chase one, but this one really good right at the bottom of the zone. But Chris Davis, very patient, and lays off that pitch.
So Manny Machado will get the chance here in the first inning with the bases loaded. Wieters, lead runner single, Betameet single, second, Davis the walk at first. Machado's gone 0 for 3 with the sacks full. The Manny chant starts. Molina has to block it. Manny Machado, the last 11 games, 341.
Unflappable, this kid, 20 years old, has been through so much at such a young age. Really been put on a pedestal, playing for the United States Olympic team, the junior Olympic team, and of course all the cases that he's been through.
Cobb really working himself into a hole. Here comes Pena over behind the mound. And you got to remember, this is how this Rays team lives and dies. They lead the majors in ERA. They've had an even better second half since the All-Star break. Their bullpen leads the American League in earned run average. The Orioles got to him last night for 9 runs on 13 hits. Machado, 2-0 delivery. Puts it up in the air towards the seats. And Longoria will not have a play. Don't think Molina liked the location of that last one. He's going out again to have a word with Cobb.
Well, just trying to get him to settle down, because he had made some mistakes here. It's just the first inning, and he is laboring through only 2 outs right now, and bases loaded, a pressure cooker situation. One mistake could bust this game wide open.
23 pitches thrown here in the first inning. Machado 2-1, bases loaded. And Manny, a slow ground ball. They got a force at second base. That's where it will go. Zobrist to Roberts for the out. But the Orioles will get a couple of runs. They do it on 4 hits and will leave the bases loaded. Orioles 2, Rays 1. A relatively long first inning for both pitches, as the Orioles able to take the 2-1 lead, getting 4 hits in the first inning. And now Gonzalez comes back out and a run to work with.
That's right. Well, Miguel Gonzalez and Cobb threw a lot of pitches in that first inning. Miguel Gonzalez able to get himself out of the jam with that inning-ending double play, that line drive to Hardy. But you look for him to settle in a little bit, try to establish that fastball, but make better pitches. He's so good at pitching in and out. That last inning, he didn't even throw a fastball into righties. He left pitches out over the plate.
Mike, let's take a look at our Home Depot doing more on defense.
Yeah, here's that jam we were talking about minimizing the damage here. Line drive. It was a bullet, but J.J. Hardy there flips over to Andino for that inning-ending double play.
Pena did not start in the ballgame last night. Came on as a pinch hitter and stayed in at first base for a bit. He had an 0 for 1 in the ballgame. He is 2 for 4 off Gonzalez, though. And the pitch will be taken for a ball. As we mentioned, it has been a very disappointing season for Pena, both at the plate and at first base. Simply not what he had been with this ball club previously, hitting only 192. Does have 17 home runs, 51 RBIs. Here's the 1-0 delivery, shift on in the infield, using some off-speed breaking balls to start. 1-1.
Well, that might be a better way. We saw in that first inning how aggressive the Rays were on his fastball, so mixing it up, some off-speed pitches to get ahead. Maybe pitch a little bit backwards to get them off the fastball.
So Andino out there in shallow right field against Pena. 34-year-old with a 1-ball, 1-strike count, and he'll foul that one right straight back, 1-2. The batting average he's got, the lowest totals in all of his offensive numbers through this point of a season in his 12-year career, never lower. His batting average is the second lowest in the majors for those who qualify, 192. Pitch will be taken up high, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
Well, the Rays historically, and they knew they were going to have a great pitching staff this year, tried to bolster their offense a little bit by bringing Pena back. They got Luke Scott, who unfortunately had some injuries for them. Then they went out and got Francisco and Roberts for second base just to bolster the offense a little bit, and none of them have really taken off, although Francisco been the hottest one as of late.
Yeah, they have been built on pitching and defense. They hoped. It's come down to one thing, though, pitching. Their defense He's committed the second most errors. Only the Orioles have committed more errors than the Rays defense has. So it really has put all the burden on their pitching staff, both starters and bullpen, who to this point have risen to the occasion. 2 ball, 2 strike count on Pena. Miguel Gonzalez with a 2-2 delivery and got him.
Well, that was a great job by Miguel Gonzalez. Used all his pitches in that at bat. Finished him off with a great split finger down at the bottom of the zone. Swing and miss pitch for him, and it has been. You see that split finger grip right there. 83 miles an hour, and then right at the end, that late dip to get under the bat of Pena.
It's the leadoff man, which he does 69% of the time. And that will bring up Ryan Roberts. Roberts delivering the long ball in the ball game last night. Also got a walk. He delivers a base hit here. Into left field. McLouth over to get it. Roberts with speed makes the turn, forcing the throw, and goes back to first base. So Roberts with a base hit with 1 away. O's and Rays are going to wrap up their big 3-game series tomorrow afternoon. It'll be a 12:35 afternoon matinee. So buckle up, play hooky from work as the Birds continue the battle for the 12 AL postseason. 888-848-BIRD to go to Orioles.com to order right now. Day game tomorrow. 2 managers whose ball clubs are right there. Tampa Bay, a couple of games out. Orioles tying the Yankees down to first. Great stop. Foul ball.
Oh my, I wish that wasn't a foul ball, because that was quite a play by Mark Reynolds. Holding the runner on, bounces off a couple steps, able to protect that line. Great diving effort, but look at this throw over to J.J. Hardy from his knees. Perfect feed. Let's try it again.
Back to first base comes Roberts. Joyce had an 0 for 3 in the ball game last night. It's been a struggle, hitting only .223 since the 1st of June. His average has dropped 44 points over that time frame. Here's the 0-1 delivery to him. It'll be taken outside, and Gonzalez with a 1 ball 1 strike count. Orioles up 2-1, looking to guarantee themselves a series win if they can get it. They are 26-15-4 when it comes to series on the year. They won only 16 all of last year. Here's the 1-1 delivery to him, and that's going to be away, and will fall behind on the count 2-1. As a starter for Gonzalez, he's gone 6-4 with a 3.84 earned run average. He has worked both out of the bullpen and starting. His 15th game, his 12th start. 2 ball 1 strike out. Roberts back.
Of course, Miguel Gonzalez was used out of the pen when he got called upon out of AAA. And pitched so well out of the pen. Buck and Rick Adair said, hey, we got to try this guy as a starter, because I mean, he's just fearless out there. I mean, he really established his fastball, was able to throw inside, which separates so many pitchers in this league.
2-1 delivery. Took something off that, and Joyce with a 2 ball 2 strike count. Gonzalez working on the 6 days rest. He's worked on 4 days rest, 10 days rest, 6 days rest, months rest, working in the bullpen. Up high with it, 3-2.
Yeah, now of course Buck and Rick are monitoring all the pitchers' innings, and Miguel Gonzalez hadn't pitched in a while. Gave him an opportunity in AAA, so his innings are starting to add up. So if they can find time to rest his arm and keep him as fresh and strong as they can here down the stretch, they're going to try to do that.
3-2, runner not going, and way up high. Not a good start for Miguel Gonzalez. He has walked 3 in the first 2 innings of the ball game, and again for the Rays, they've got runners on at first and second base with 1 away, as they did in the first inning when Francisco hit into that line drive double play. That'll bring up Molina. Jose Molina 0 for 2 in the ball game last night. Orioles infield cheat in a little bit, looking for the ground ball. Not a fast runner. If they can get it, try and turn 2. And Molina down to third base. One is there, the other's at first. So the Orioles defense really helping the cause. They get the double play. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. The Orioles on top 2-1. Slots, tables, and dining, the ultimate triple play at Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races. Most teams 3+ homer games this season. The White Sox on top, Yankees, and then O's.
Yeah, these O's, I mean, they've lived by the home run all year, and that's just showing their consistency. Some big bopping lineups there. The White Sox, of course, leading the way with the Yankees and then the Orioles. And I'll tell you what, had some matchups with some pretty good pitchers here recently, and I think the Orioles lineup has an effect. I know Buck was being really kind last night when he said that Moore was off his game and we were able to take advantage of that. Well, I think a lot of times young pitchers, when they're faced up against tough lineups like the Orioles, it affects them. They're not able. They put the pressure on themselves and they make mistakes, and the Orioles able to capitalize on it. And I think we just saw that in the first inning from Cobb. And I know Joe Madden hopes that he can settle in, not be intimidated by this powerful lineup.
Let's see what happens with him here as he faced 8 in the first inning. Does he want to be a catcher?
Oh, I hope not. Yeah, good. Take that off, Zach.
Zach Britton in the dugout. The Orioles continue to assign pitchers to start games as late as possible. Wei-Yin Chen has been announced as the starter for tomorrow's game against Jeremy Hellickson. And Joe Saunders is going to open up against Tommy Malone in the first game in Oakland. Then we'll see.
That's right.
And the pitch is taken for a strike on the inside corner.
Well, Buck certainly has options. I mean, he can give the guys on the list extra days if he wants, and even then some, because you have Jake Arrieta down in the pen, Tommy Hunter. Both of those guys have done some starting. They're in the bullpen right now for the Orioles to supply some length if needed.
Robert Andino takes the strike. Andino had a big ball game in the ball game last night. Picked up a double, scored in the third inning ahead of Hardy. Ended up with a 1 for 3 in the game. Andino, number 9 hitter, leading it off in the second inning, and he'll take the pitch outside. The Orioles are third in the American League in home runs. Yankees the first, White Sox the second, and then the Orioles. This Tampa Bay team has not lived with the long ball. They are 9th in the American League in homers. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Andino, broken bat base hit. Shattered it, but he got enough to punch it out into left field. Francisco will get it back in, and the Orioles have the leadoff man on again.
Yeah, picking off right where they left off in the first inning. Another base hit, and this fastball riding in on Andino. It gets in on him pretty good, but Robert's strong enough to fight it off. Out over the shortstop's head for a base hit. A good way to start the night for Robert.
McLeod coming back. He went after the first pitch he saw and picked up a base hit. So Nate McLeod stands in now, 3 for 6 already in the first 2 games of this series. And the breaking ball up high. Longoria moved in on the grass that time in case of a bunt. He's backed up here now. McLeod will take the opportunity to bunt for a base hit if he feels as though he's got the chance. So Longoria will stay even with the bag, or he's going to move right in on the cut of the grass again. 1-0 count. McLeod takes it, and it's a strike. 1-1.
Pitch down in the zone right there, but of course Joe Madden thinking what he would do, and he would probably try to lay the bunt down in this situation, or at least see if he can draw that third baseman in. So he's got Longoria in on the grass, having to respect Nate McLeod's speed, because if he is sacrifice bunting, if it's a good bunt, he can still leg it out for a base hit.
And a real good homestand for Nate McLeod. He's got 8 hits now and 17 at bats during the homestand. 1-1 on the throw over made to first base. Red Sox and Yankees playing again tonight. The Orioles in the dead tie. Both teams, Yankees O's 79 and 62 coming into the ball game. The Orioles have not been in first place alone this late in the season since '97. 1 ball, 1 strike count. McLeod showing no bunt will take the pitch for a strike and is behind on it. 1-2. Tampa Bay finds itself a couple of games out of a wild card spot, the second wild card spot. They've started the month out well, 6-3, and a good homestand. 1 ball, 2 strike count, and the throw over again to get him back.
A lot of times pitchers in a situation when they get ahead and they want to throw their off-speed pitch for a swing and miss strikeout, they'll pick off a couple times just to keep the runner at first base honest. If I'm a hitter, I'm thinking, oh, possibly an off-speed pitch, and of course his strikeout pitches are a breaking ball in the dirt or that split finger fastball.
1 ball, 2 strike count, runner not going. That'll move inside, and the count goes to 2-2. A lot of stolen bases against Cobb, 15 out of 17 stolen bases. Molina's got a good arm, 32% behind the plate. So you'd have to believe the base stealing has been done off the pitcher most of the time. Here's the 2-2 delivery, and the off speed will be fouled off.
Well, he does have a slide step, and all pitchers are pretty quick to the plate with a slide step, but if he doesn't use that, which he does get away from it at times, he tries to vary his looks for base runners. If he picks that knee up, he's a lot slower to the plate, up around 1-6, and that's an easy stolen base for an average base runner.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Gets away. That'll move Andino down to second base as Pena had to go get it. That looked like a ball that should have been caught.
Yeah, it looked like it was on the spot, and I think Cobb just worrying a little bit too much about the stolen base and hasn't really read the reports on the Orioles. Not really known for their base stealing. Tries to pick off again, and it gets away from Pena. Pretty quick move here, but that ball is right to Pena. Pena just whiffed it. Andino cruises into second base easily.
That's the 7th error on Pena. We were talking about his troubles at the plate. Well, he has not been anywhere near the defensive first baseman that he's been throughout his career. Those kinds of mistakes have happened a lot to him this year. And that is going to be the 99th error the Rays have committed. Only the Orioles with 100 have committed more. 2-2 to McLeod. Down low. Molina has to block it. Boy, this game is starting out like a real taffy pull. Everything's tough.
Sure
Pitches in the dirt. Error committed early. Lead-off home run. Pitchers getting behind most of the hitters they're facing. It's an RBI chance for McLeod. 3-2. And he struck him out. That'll be the second K. Picked up by the right-hander.
Well, Nate McLeod really worked this at bat well, but he chases after a high fastball right at the top of the zone. Probably would have been called a strike anyway. And McLeod probably looking for that off-speed pitch.
That'll bring Hardy up. Hardy has had more opportunities with runners in scoring position than any other Oriole. Came into the game with 120 such chances. Closest to him with 110 is Jones. That is taken for a strike. Hardy has responded with that .275 batting average with runners in scoring position, well above his overall .239 average. Andino at second base. Hardy single scored. First time up. Cobb will look back.
Really worrying about Robert Andino. Cost him over there at first base when he threw that ball away, and now thinking about him again at second.
On delivery. Outside corner strike. Hardy over the last 17 games, 6 doubles, 5 homers, 14 RBIs in the last 17, 11 extra base hits. 0-2 delivery. Outside. 1-2. Cobb just 24, out of Boston. That's where he was born. Yet another one of the young pitchers this Braves organization continually finds. Outside for a ball. Saw a story the other day. I was looking. They've made the playoffs the last 3 out of the 4 years as Rays team. Their pitching staff back in 08. Scott Kazmir, James Shields, Matt Garza, Edwin Jackson, and Andy Sonnenstein. That was in 08. There's only one left.
There's one left. Shields. Yeah.
That's it. 2-2 delivery on the way. Check swing. He did not go. And it's not a strike. 3-2.
Tried to bring that two-seam fastball back over the outside corner, but just misses. Good take by J.J. Hardy.
Deep counts early by both pitchers. 40 pitches have been thrown by Cobb, and he's only recorded 1 out in the second inning. Andino at second base with a single and an error, putting him there. Hardy with a 3-2, and he'll follow back. Let's take a look at our AT&T Mobility trivia fact. Last night, Hardy is second 4-hit, 2-home run game of the season. He's the 3rd Oriole to do that since the team has been here in Baltimore. Jim Gentile in 61 and Cal Jr. in 91. The only other Orioles to accomplish that feat.
And once again, history being made by the Orioles.
Yep. Jim Gentile was one of my favorite players as a youngster.
Gentleman Jim?
Yep.
Yeah.
3 ball, 2 strike count. Again, Hardy takes it and got him. Hardy thought that was ball 4, as you saw.
JJ didn't like that one. You see Buck didn't like it either. Talked about him being able to bring that two-seamer back over the outside corner, and it is just off the plate. JJ Hardy has a pretty good awareness of his own strike zone. And he's heading down to first base, thinking for sure that's a ball. But Cobb gets the call there.
That's our Kia Pitch Track, brought to you by Kia Motors. To learn more, visit kia.com. So 2 big strikeouts after the single and error put Andino at second base. Jones flied out to center field his first time up, and that's a strike on the outside corner. So the Orioles looking for one of those 2-out RBIs. Adams' number 279, runners in scoring position on the year. Andino big lead at second, and Jones will take it up and in, and a 1-ball 1-strike count.
Well, Adam had a great swing in his first at bat, probably the hardest hit ball out of anybody in that first inning, and B.J. Upton ran it down in center field.
1 ball, 1 strike. Not trying to hold Andino. And Jones on that pitch down and in. So went the other way on that one, and a 1 ball, 2 strike count from Cobb.
Well, Adam Jones is certainly establishing himself as one of the best hitters in the game. So he gets pitched to pretty tough. I mean, they're always moving the ball around, changing speeds on him. Good pitch right there from Cobb under the hands of Adam.
1-2. Adam comes into the game 7th in runs in the American League. He is 8th in hits and 5th in extra base hits, and he has been in each of those categories for virtually the entire year. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Andino hoping somebody can drive him home. He started it out with a single. 2-2 delivery. Jones will take that one outside. And Cobb again takes it to 3-2.
Cobb trying to work that outside corner like he did on J.J. Hardy, bringing that 2-seamer back.
Three-two, 2 down. Adam Jones fouls it off.
Take a look at Adam Jones here. Kind of went into a little dip from August 1st till September 1st, 257, which isn't too bad, but I'll tell you what, he has taken off since September 2nd, 351 with that .649 slugging percentage, and almost 40% of his hits have been extra base hits. Getting hot at the right time.
He has a 9-game hit streak coming into this ball game. Hitting .351 during the streak. 3-2 again. Jones toward the hole. Handled by Zobrist. Running throw is there in time to get the out. No runs, 1 hit, an error. Orioles will leave a runner in scoring position. The O's have stranded 4 through the first 2 innings. Orioles 2, Rays 1. Brought to you by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T Rethink Possible by Bacardi. From the heart of charred oak barrels, the smooth spiced rum has arrived. Bacardi Oak Heart. And by Verizon Fios. Introducing Verizon Fios Quantum Speed. Internet twice as fast as anything America has ever seen. As the Orioles have the 2-1 lead in the ball game, our Wired Wednesday, a chance to talk with Buck Showalter before the game. This late in the season, just trying to keep everything going as is.
Try to keep as many things as possible the same. Obviously, the traveling party is a little different, and number of people in the clubhouse is a little different. But they're used to dealing with that in September. But we try to keep things as normal as possible. but and anything that we might change a little bit. There's a different sense of finality about it. You know, there's so many times during the season, Gary, where you may do something to present a more consistent front over the long haul, where this time of year, you know, you're not playing for how your club's going to be in November or December. You know, you're trying to put your best foot forward every night.
Yeah, great words from Buck Showalter. He talked about
down to third. Machado tested with the arm. He's got one.
Nice play by Manny Machado. So good on those slow rollers. Such an accurate, strong arm.
Keppinger retired on one pitch.
Yeah, well, Buck had talked about, you know, the players not really changed anything, trying to be as consistent as possible. And obviously a lot of new faces coming up in September, just the call-ups. But I think they've put themselves in a position where they're getting a lot more media attention, so there are a lot more interviews, and that's kind of changed the routine a little bit. But I know as a player, they feel good when they go out on the field for batting practice. They feel safe. This is their arena, like what Buck had talked about earlier. They like batting practice where they can get back into their regular routine, and they like the games. All the other stuff, they just try to, you know, do their interviews and what have you, and deal with the extra players and the extra players on the plane and the travel that they have to deal with. But they all feel comfortable in their preparation for BP and when the game time comes.
And a strike taken. Keppinger going after that first pitch again. He flied out to center field his first time up. One down here, and the Upton ground ball out. Keppinger and then Zobrist. Jeff Keppinger, open stance, 0-2 delivery. Shuts it down as he gets ready to unload. Having a great second half, hitting .339 since the All-Star break. He's got a 3-game hit streak coming into this ball game. 4 hits in his last 11 at bats now. Here's the 1-2 delivery to him. Keppinger will fight that off. Yankees get the early lead over Boston 1-0. They're in the 4th inning of that game. Nick Markakis, the ever-present.
As his fresh cast on after a successful surgery.
And Keppinger watches that one go by. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jason Hamill, we have to await word tomorrow. MRI scheduled for Thursday. Felt that right knee. Had to come out of the ball game, of course, last night. 2-2 delivery, jammed him down the line. Foul ball, and nobody can get to it.
Nice pitch right there by Miguel Gonzalez. That fastball inside. He is so good if he can get that ball in there, and he doubles up sometimes, even triples up with his fastball on the inside part of the plate.
2 balls and 2 strikes. And Keppinger with 1 away, bases empty. The 2-2 delivery to him and the chopper. Gonzalez dives, doesn't get it. Hardy's got to barehand it, and an infield hit. So Keppinger's on with the seeing eye single right there. And with 1 away, 1 on. Well, we are certainly there. Down the stretch we come in the Oakland A's. 11 consecutive road games that they've been able to put up in the W column. Streak began against Tampa Bay on August 24. The Tigers within 2 now of Chicago, and they got Scherzer and Verlander going in the next 2 games against the White Sox, including tonight. And the Dodgers, they're 6 for 10 since they added Adrian Gonzalez and Josh Beckett in the deal. They are 1 game still, though, out of the number 2 wild card spot. That ball in the air to right field, and Ben Zobrist near the wall, just missed. Davis hauls it in. Keppinger back to first base. And there are 2 down. Maryland Lottery Strike It Rich contestant for our game is Kathy Marzola of Baltimore. Kathy, you get $500 for being selected. You also get $100 for each strikeout recorded by the Orioles tonight. For all the latest info on new games, current promotions, second chance contests, visit mdlottery.com today. 2 down. Longoria asked for the timeout. Interesting, he had Matt Wieters instead of the home plate umpire, Marvin Hudson. 2 away. And he'll take the pitch on the outside corner for a strike.
Good pitch there. We saw J.J. Hardy getting rung up on a pitch just off the outside corner. Matt Wieters says, well, we got to try it. And certainly they executed it well there, especially off such a dangerous hitter like Longoria.
265 lifetime against the Orioles, 15 home runs. 0-1 delivery, further away this time. And the count goes to a ball and a strike. Yankees had a couple more to that lead over Boston. Red Sox, of course, winning last night. 1-1. Longoria takes, it's there. Gonzalez gets ahead, a ball and 2 strikes. Runner off first base, 1-2 delivery. Longoria to short, base hit. Longoria gets the single, reaching out on that one, and Tampa Bay puts runners at first and second with 2 down for Francisco.
Actually a pretty good pitch from Miguel Gonzalez, but you see Evan Longoria going down to get this split finger fastball. Matt Wieters about to catch that one on the shoe tops, but he goes down and gets it to get that base hit.
So another chance for Francisco. He came up with runners on at first and second, 1 down in the first inning, and lined hard to Hardy into a double play. Now he's got 2 on again, 2 down. And that pitch he's not going to catch up to.
Nice life on that fastball from Gonzalez. Probably his hardest fastball of the night as well. 92 miles an hour with great movement.
Oh, 1 count. Gonzalez will look back at Keppinger. 0-1 delivery. That's going to be in there for a base hit down the line. Chased into the corner by McLeod. Keppinger will score. Longoria will go into third, and a double and an RBI for Francisco ties this ball game up at 2 apiece.
Well, Francisco gets a hanging slider from Miguel Gonzalez and drives it down the left field line. Hit the ball hard his first at bat, but right at J.J. Hardy. This one he delivers and able to pick up that RBI. Keppinger scoring on the end.
Likes hitting against the Orioles. That'll be just his 5th RBI since coming over and playing his 36th game. And the ball game is tied up 2-2. Each team now with 5 hits. Now 2 in scoring position with 2 down. And here's Pena, struck out his first time up. And fouled off. Again, the shift is on in the infield. Manny Machado has got to stay over there at third base. 1, because there's a runner at third, and 2, if you leave. With Pena not hitting well, you might just lay a bunt down for a base hit.
He's done it before, and I think Joe Madden has gotten it into the offensive of the Rays. If they're giving you that opportunity, lay it down. And Luke Scott has done it this year, and Pena as well. They always play the big shift on those 2 guys, but they're willing to give it up, try to get on base for their team.
2-2 ball game. Pena hitting .144 with runners in scoring position, the lowest average in the American League. 0-1 delivery to him will be taken up high, and a 1-ball 1-strike count. So the baseball gods have dictated game 2 is going to be the grinded out game, because there's a 12:30 game tomorrow, and we want everyone to get home really late, feel really tired, be completely exhausted, and then come back here and play a day game. Baseball gods are cruel. 1-ball 1-strike. Pena up in the air, center field. Jones coming, and he's got it. So a 1-run in on 3 hits. 2 are left in scoring position in the inning. Ball game tied 2-2. Orioles, and both teams with scoring chances here and are leaving people on. The Orioles, of course, are going to be heading out tomorrow West Coast. It'll be to Oakland, then Seattle, then to Boston. Big road trip for so late in the season. Buck Showalter talked about that before today's game.
It's part of the job description, and our guys are dealing with Tampa Bay tonight and Tampa Bay tomorrow, and a quick turnaround, and then we fly across the coast. We'll make a couple adjustments. We're not going to put the what they call them, the oxygen chambers on the on the plane or anything, but your clock's different. It's a whole different situation. Put your body in, but if I know our guys, they'll approach it the way it needs to be approached. But there's going to be another challenge around each corner. Seattle's playing as good as anybody in the American League, so nobody said it was going to be easy, and nobody said that if it's anything worth attaining, going through the challenges that we've had and will have, make it that much more enjoyable if you can pull it off.
So hard to win down the stretch, obviously, and with the travel, it's just a continuous grind, and every team is dangerous in September. I don't care who you're playing against. You have to stay focused and try to pick yourself up for each and every contest.
Wieters fouls that one away. Wieters had a single and an RBI his first time up. Take a look at our Inside the Numbers, brought to you by Kia Motors. To learn more, visit kia.com. Some number for Wieters against this team.
Yeah, sure is. 339 against the Rays, and you had talked about, and we had talked about the Rays pitching staff, so Matt Wieters stepping up against some of the best pitchers in the game on the Tampa Bay Rays team.
And he's done it again this season. He's hitting .292 this year against the Rays. 2 home runs and 7 RBIs. RBIs first inning, Wieters and Betamit on singles, bringing home McLouth and Hardy, who had singled. Home run leading off the ball game by Upton, his 22nd off Gonzalez. And then that last inning, Francisco with a double to tie it up. That's where we are here in the bottom half of the third.
Yeah, Cobb thrown 53 pitches. Actually, both pitchers kind of laboring through the first few innings of this ball game, but Cobb showing some emotion out there and his frustration, not being able to command his pitches. Of course, Miguel Gonzalez has just been a stalwart out there.
Cobb gets him. That's 4 strikeouts now for the rookie.
Here's a look at that pitch from Cobb. Off-speed pitch, not the location he wanted, but does induce a swing and miss by Wieters.
That'll bring up Betamit. Betamit with the RBI base hit, his last time up. He's only had 7 at-bats so far this month. A couple of hits in 7 at-bats in September. And the pitch is in there for a strike. A lot of look-backs on Marvin Hudson, the home plate umpire, by both teams so far in the ball game.
Yeah, and Cobb kind of been all over the place, so if he isn't throwing strikes consistently, he really shouldn't be helped out by the home plate umpire.
Here's the 0-1 delivery on the way, and that'll be taken down low. Cobb comes in with that streak going. He's had 5 wins, no losses, and 2 no decisions in his last 7 starts. He beats the Yankees in his last outing. 2 runs, 4 hits over 7. Non-decision Texas beat Oakland. Non-decision Angels beat Seattle, Toronto, and Oakland. 1-1 delivery to him. Now Cobb wants to know where that one was. And a 2-ball, 1-strike count.
Back and forth here, right? Hitter gets upset at the home plate umpire, and then the pitcher gets upset at the home plate umpire.
2-ball, 1-strike count, Betamit. Reynolds on deck. And Betamit will take that one away, and Cobb just slings the leg up in the air. Sometimes it looks like he releases so effortlessly, it's kind of like he's just playing catch.
Yeah, it does look effortless. And then even when he finishes his windup, like you just saw right there, just kind of kicking around almost like a little kid.
Yeah. Here's the 3-1 delivery on the way, and Betamit can't catch up to that one. And the count goes to 3-2. A lot of 3-2 counts in this ball game for both teams, but especially by Cobb. Full count delivery on the way, and he got him. So that's 5 strikeouts, 2 in a row here in the 3rd inning. Well, the O's in the hunt for the postseason. Now's the time to buckle up and back your birds. Place a deposit on a 2013 full or partial season plan, including the convenient 13-game plan, you'll be guaranteed an opportunity to buy 2012 Orioles postseason tickets before the general public. 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com/postseason. And Mark Reynolds will take that one for a strike.
Well, Cobb kind of known for his off-speed pitches, good breaking ball and split finger, but he's really kind of relying on his fastball right now, able to locate his fastball in and out.
Reynolds in for a strike. Reynolds a strikeout victim his first time up, and the count goes to 0-2. He has struck out as many as 10, did that against Miami back in June this season. That is his career high for Cobb and K's. 0-2 deliveries fought off. But Joe was asked about Nick Markakis and how important it was for him to be here, and he said, "Do you mean for him or the team?" He said it's important for both. Nick would go crazy if he wasn't at the ballpark, and he drives Buck crazy when he is here. Here's the 0-2 delivery, and that's up and in. And Reynolds leaning back on that one. 1-2.
Well, Nick, first time this year, spent time on the disabled list, and really a very impatient patient, kind of rushing the training staff and Buck Showalter to get back in there. And right now he's just got to lay low, obviously, with the cast on his hand.
Just missed. 2-ball, 2-strike count.
But certainly can be a great asset to all the players in there as far as the pitch recognition and what pitchers are trying to do to hitters, positioning.
Two down, base is empty. Here's the 2-2 delivery to Reynolds. Foul that one off of the plate. Cobb throttling back. About 81 miles an hour on that pitch. 66 pitches thrown so far by Alex Cobb. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Struck the side out. So 6 strikeouts in the ball game. We've completed 3 here at Camden Yards. The middle game of this 3-game set, tied at 2. Is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz, located on the web at MBUSA.com. The lowest ERA by rookie pitchers since July 1.
Yeah, nice to see an Oriole on that list. Miguel Gonzalez, of course, Wei-Yin Chen, another rookie that's having a sensational year. But Matt Moore, who pitched last night, real nice low ERA of 3.10, but the Orioles able to get to him. Good pitchers, good young pitchers right now in the league. Really a great handful of great young players. Trout, Machado, of course Harper down in Washington.
An even better young cheerleader. She was rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
There. Here's Ryan Roberts. He had a single. Only time to the plate. Gonzalez will get the pitch into him for a strike. We go to the 4th inning. Bottom 3rd of the order. Roberts, Joyce, and Molina. And he'll foul that off. Gonzalez got it inside, and we'll get ahead on the count 0-2. Gonzalez coming in with the 0-1 mark against the Rays. Start on August 5. Only appearance against them this year. 0-2 delivery. Roberts to third. Machado at a backup. Spins. Gets it. Play by Reynolds. Another toe in the bag move. And Roberts is retired. Tonight's Masson mobile word of the day is peanut. Text peanut 29292 for your chance to enter and win. Oh, pennant. Oh my gosh. You better not text peanut because you won't get anything. Text pennant 29292 for your chance to enter and win a lunch with Adam Jones, or you may eat peanuts. Presented by your Baltimore area Jiffy Lubes. Baltimore area Jiffy Lubes, locally owned and operated. Drive in today, leave worry behind. Pennant. Pennant. You text peanut, it won't be counted. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Was that a receipt or a recipe? That one is foul back. And a 2-strike count on Joyce. See, those are peanuts. No, not the people. What he's eating. And the pitch is up high. We may have just set the menu for the lunch without him. 1-2. Joyce, the walk, his first time up, will take it up high. 3 walks surrendered by Gonzalez and 1 strikeout. How many cookies have you eaten so far? Huh?
Just one.
Just one. And he got him. Joyce goes down swinging this time. That'll be the 2nd strikeout for Gonzalez.
Well, nice job of getting ahead, and then the finish off pitch right here. Nice split finger. You see that split finger grip coming in looking like a fastball. Great late action at the end, swinging right over the top of it. Nice pitch. It's good to see Miguel Gonzalez and both Cobb settling in here in the last inning.
2 down in the 4th inning. That'll bring Molina up. Get into a double play. And a 5-3 ground ball his last time up. And Molina fouls it away. Our cameraman's wife, Michael's wife, made delicious cookies. Appreciate it. They're great. I'll take the bag and put it back over here on my side.
I only had one.
No, you lie. An 0-1 count on Molina. And that'll be foul back. And 2 strikes.
Take a look at Miguel Gonzalez, opponent's batting average by inning. Of course, first through the 3rd, very low at 205. The hitters start to make some adjustments in the middle, but still very good at 228. And then at the end, maybe some fatigue. High batting average of 421.
0-2 pitch.
Of course, Buck Showalter and Rick Adair would like to see Miguel get into the 6th or 7th inning because, shorten up the ball game because the bullpen has been so good this year. Any kind of depth you can get out of your starting pitching is going to be a plus, because look at those arms down there. Pedro Strop, Ayala, O'Day, Jim Johnson, of course.
In the air to right field. Davis turned around, but he's got it. So each pitcher retires the side in order back-to-back. First time either has been able to do that in the ballgame. And it remains tied at 2-2. baseball on Masson is brought to you by Chevy Cruze, offering the best highway mileage of any gas engine in America. By Chapin Davis. Chapin Davis Investment celebrating 60 years of advising investors. Call Chapin Davis 800-222-3246. And by the new summer barbecue menu at Burger King. Let's have a barbecue today. Just a beautiful evening here in Baltimore. All the way from Vermont to see Buckle Up, which is what the Orioles and their fans are doing. Here from Alaska. So, you know, that's a trip. I hope you did buckle up. That's a long way. Yes, you do.
She got the Viva.
Oh, mercy.
A lot of people appreciating what the Orioles are doing right now. I mean, for so long, I mean, we talk about the history of the Orioles. They've been out of it and haven't been into the postseason in so long. I think there's a genuine excitement in everybody in baseball that the Orioles are playing well.
Longoria's throw off the mark. Nice play by Pena to get over there. As Davis crossed him up. Hit against the shift. Longoria able to stop it, but not able to get it over there in time, and that'll be a base hit.
Yeah, pretty good reaction play right there by Longoria. Last thing you expect is a big power hitter, especially with a big shift on, to come your way. But nice first step quickness. Gets to it fine. Just unable to stick in his glove. See his athleticism as he throws from the seat of his pants. Almost gets him. Just pulls Pena off the bag at first.
Orioles have had the leadoff man on now, 3 out of the 4 innings. Here's Manny Machado. Hit into a fielder's choice with the bases loaded in the first inning. The Orioles have left 4, 3 in scoring position. 4 have been left on by Tampa Bay, 3 in scoring position. Orioles get their 6th hit. And Machado will take the pitch inside for a ball. Ball game tied at 2. Tampa Bay had the 1-0 lead. First inning, Orioles went ahead 2-1 bottom half. Third inning, Tampa Bay tied it. Rick Showalter's ball club trying to put up their 80th win of the season. Last time they did that was 97. And a strike taken. Relaying the signs. Manny Machado taking a look. Chris Davis off first, being held by Pena. Not a big lead at all. A couple of steps. Machado, slow roller foul, hit him in the batter's box. And Davis will come back. Coming into the ball game today, in the Central, Chicago's lead is down to 2. They're playing the Tigers again tonight. Texas has got just a 3-game lead over Oakland. Oakland has won 5 in a row. National League, they're wrapping it up. Washington's going to win the East. Cincinnati's going to win the Central. And it looks like the Giants, with a 6-game lead, are going to win the West.
Still pretty interesting wild card setup over there in the National League, though. A lot of teams making some late season pushes. The Phillies, obviously, for one of them.
Amazing.
And the Brewers.
2 teams that nobody's not even talking about anymore are suddenly making a run at the wild card spot. 2 ball, 2 strike count on Manny Machado. Two-two delivery. Snap throw. Molina not in time. Three ball, 2 strike count. This is the 6th 3-ball count we have had from Cobb in the ball game.
Boy, he has really had to labor through this. Of course, great at bats. You have to give the Orioles offense some credit. They're laying off some tough pitches and really working Cobb to get into these type of situations. But he certainly has been a little bit inconsistent in the zone.
He struck out 6, walked 1. Davis at first base, nobody out. 3-2, runner goes. Machado rips it. Double play. In the dirt, scooped up by Pena, and Machado hits into the line drive double play, which seems to be in order for this game. 2 down. Well, what we were talking about, our Major League Notebook, don't look now. The Phillies won again today. They won by a score of 3-1. They've won 7 straight, 15 out of 19. They've reached 500 for the first time since June 4, and they're only 3.5 games off the Cardinals, who are in second position in the wild card spot. The Brewers, they have won 8 games in a row, reaching 500 for the first time since April 24. Won 17 out of 22, and they too are in that mix. 4 games out of the wild card. That'll go to second base. Roberts is there, and Dino is retired. And what looked like it might be the start to an inning, that line drive kind of ended that. Only 3 come up. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on. 2-2.
Highlights tonight, B.J. Upton in the first inning takes this fastball from Miguel Gonzalez deep out over the left field fence, but then Matt Wieters answers back with an RBI single, scoring Nate McLeod, and Wilson Bettamy delivers with the RBI single, scoring J.J. Hardy to put the Orioles up by 1, but Ben Francisco delivers an RBI double, scoring Jeff Kempinger. And that's where we're knotted at 2 going into the 5th inning. Runners in scoring position tonight. Tampa just 1 for 4, and the Orioles 2 for 8. Miguel Gonzalez, 4 innings pitched, a couple earned runs, 5 hits. Alex Cobb about the same line, 4 innings pitched, 6 hits and a couple earned runs.
The Buck truck headed to October. Ground ball to third base, Manny Machado. B.J. Upton. Upton's been going after first pitches. He had a home run to start the ball game up. Sense has grounded out a couple of times to Machado at third base, and there are 2 down, 1 away rather, here in the 5th inning. Keppinger coming up. He a single scored, flied to center. Keppinger with a 4-game hit streak now, and hitting at .328. Orioles with a victory last night, reaching the 40 win mark at home. They are 40-32. First time they've done that since 2006, have that many wins at home. Last time they had 41 wins at home was 2000. If they can get one more win here at Camden Yards, which they certainly will, it'll guarantee them the home winning record for the first time since 2000. 1-0 delivery to Keppinger, and the pitch will be taken down low, and a 2-0 count. Yankees 3-1 lead over Boston. They're in the 5th inning there. They had a 3-0 lead. Here's the 2-0. And that's down low.
Miguel Gonzalez being really careful with Keppinger. Of course, Keppinger, one of the hottest hitters that the Rays have. Trying to work the perimeter of that strike zone, maybe induce some weak contact, but Keppinger not even nibbling.
Takes that one. It's in there for a strike. And the count will go to 3-1. Offensively, this Tampa Bay team, the numbers look a lot like the Orioles until you get to the home runs. Tampa Bay's 9th and the Orioles are 3rd. Otherwise, runs and average are not that much different. Here's the 3-1 delivery. Keppinger takes it. That's on the outside corner. 3-2. Keppinger not sure about the last 2 calls. Takes a little walk. Gonzalez likes to work in a hurry. Here's the 3-2. Down to 3rd. Manny Machado backhands it. 360. Go!
Another good play by Manny Machado. Has been solid all night over there. Of course, one of the keys for this defense, solidifying the defense. You see Manny taking that nice drop step. Momentum pulls him around. Mark Reynolds with another nice pick on the end there. He has been so solid. I'll tell you what, these infielders love throwing to Mark Reynolds right now. He is not missing a thing.
Who'd have thought?
See him reaching out, keeping that glove on the inside of that left leg. Great stretch, great body control by Mark Reynolds.
2 down. Who'd have thought Machado would have been the starting 3rd baseman for the Orioles in September, and that his first baseman would be playing like he's a Gold Glove contender? Seriously. I mean, Mark Reynolds at 3rd base was a complete disaster. Mark Reynolds at first base, unbelievably good.
Yeah, just gotten better and better, and he has made some great plays to save errors for his infield, and also just great athletic plays, diving.
Zobrist went around on that. That's that. Home plate umpire Marvin Hudson making the call. Gonzalez, 3 strikeouts, retires the side in order with a little help from his D. Good ball game. Tied at 2. So far in this ball game, Mike, a couple of pitchers who may not have the best stuff that they have ever had, but are just grinding this thing out and getting outs when they need them.
You said it, grinding indeed. Both of them laboring through the first couple innings. They seem to have settled down here in the last 2, but being helped out defensively, both teams, with double play balls. So Manny Machado making some great plays out there as well. So laboring through, kind of grinding it out, hoping to get deeper in the ball game so that bullpen can come in and seal the deal.
And the Orioles bullpen, of course, has been exceptional. They continued the run yesterday when they needed to come on and finish up when Hamill had to come out. The bullpen continues to be spectacular, and apparently, even though it's been used as much as it has been, it's not going to be a problem going into the final month, their usage.
No, I don't think so. And I think all these guys are living on adrenaline right now. It's such a long season, such a grind. Nobody cares anymore. They put themselves in a great position to succeed, and they're all going to rise up. And when their name is called, they want the ball to go out there and perform.
Now, we talked last night about taking advantage of mistakes. We'll see whether or not that happens in this game. It did early in the ball game last night when the Orioles were able to pick up an unearned run early. Tonight, though, the D, as Mike said, for both these teams, been pretty good. So Cobb continues on. Nate McLouth will lead it off. He has singled, scored, and struck out. Bottom half of the 5th inning, and McLouth will take the pitch up high for a ball. Real solid numbers with that .277 batting average. His job to get on. Table setter. Big swing and a miss. Fastball that time. Cobb's really mixed it up. Only 89 miles an hour, but with his off-speed stuff, it's got to look a lot faster.
No, it sure does. And he's been, really, that's his MO, mixing up his off-speed pitches and then occasionally spotting that fastball in there. But his breaking ball and split finger are his go-to pitches.
Nice backhand by Pena. And we'll record the out. Defenses are indeed rising to the occasion. That takes a double at least, maybe even a triple away right there. I want to remind you, tomorrow the Orioles take on the Rays, 12:35. The first 10,000 fans 15 and over get the special Buckle Up Orioles t-shirt celebrating the Birds' push to the 12th postseason. Don't miss this great item to add to your collection and a big game. Tickets 888-848-BIRD to go to Orioles.com. J.J. Hardy. Hardy a single, a run scored, been called out on strikes. Sweeping breaking ball. He is in there for a strike. Cobb with a walk and 6 strikeouts. Gonzalez 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, and McGee up in the bullpen. Ground ball towards the hole. Zobrist. Nice play.
Yeah, Zobrist had to make a couple of nice running plays. Once again, you see him ranging far to his right, going up that hole. Nice off-balance throw to get J.J. Hardy.
Well, the game's settling down a little bit now. Outs coming a little quicker, more strikes being thrown. Not so many deep counts that we saw. Cobb up to 80 pitches thrown. Here's Adam Jones. Jones has flied out and grounded out. And with 2 away, nobody on, he'll be winding up for the long ball. And that'll go to short, base hit. 10-game hit streak. Hit number 7 for the Orioles comes with 2 away in the 5th.
Cobb got lucky there. I mean, starts Adam Jones off with a breaking ball, and it just broke off to the corner of the plate, the outside corner. Adam Jones able to get that base hit, but if that ball hangs up out over the middle a little bit more, Adam Jones has been known to punish some hanging breaking balls.
There are the 2 starters. Gonzalez on the right. Pretty much the same number of pitches thrown and the struggle it's been. Hickey's out to the mound. The pitching coach having a word with the 24-year-old right-hander, working on 8 days rest. Gonzalez working on 6 days rest. Looks like he's trying to draw a little time. Marvin Hudson, the home plate umpire, coming out. Back here at 12:35 for the ball game. O's Extra will be on at 12. We'll be on at 12:30 for the game. Wrapping up the 3-game set, Wei and Chen, who is 12-9, against Jeremy Hellickson, who is 8-10, on Masson HD tomorrow for the day game. Matt Wieters with 2 down. Wieters has singled home a run and has struck out 4 for 5 in the first 2 games. Jones at first. Wieters rips it. Foul.
And that got all over that fastball. Just a little over aggressive, pulled it down that right field line. But he was ready for it.
Jones heading back over to first base with 2 away. Orioles trying to win another game against the East, where they have put up 34 wins, 33 rather, and 24 against the East. They've got the best mark in the division against division opponents, and that one misses up high. 1 ball, 1 strike count. And Wieters will step out. Cobb has slowed it down. He worked fairly quickly early. Jones, the lead at first base, and the throw over to get him back. does not want to take the bat out of the hands of Matt Wieters here, so not likely he'll be going. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Cobb's delivery to him. Kept it down and away just off the end of the bat. And it goes to 1-2.
A great location right there from Cobb, down and away. You make a mistake with Matt Wieters. Of course, left side is his power side. And he has great numbers against Tampa.
Matt hitting .262 here at home, only .226 on the road. And he's had 11 of his 19 home runs here at Camden Yards. One ball, 2 strike counts still on Wieters. Orioles with 110 home runs here at home. They've hit 75 on the road, so they've really used the ballpark to their advantage long ball wise. Not that they haven't played well on the road, because they have, but if you play here at Camden Yards, you really want to be able to use it home run wise. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Wieters takes it up high. Take a look at the comparison for the Orioles at home and on the road. That record, their runs 4.7 at home, about 4 on the road. The home runs 1.5 per game at home and 1.1 on the road. So they've had the ERAs a little better on the road, which is made up for the run differential, which is better here in this ballpark. But they have used Camden Yards. There goes Jones inside Molina's throw and missed it. Shortstop coming over. Zobrist took it in front of the bag, tried to hit him on the way by. Tim Timmons, second base umpire, said nope, never got him.
Take a look at Adam Jones. Got a great jump off Cobb. Throw up the line, and Zobrist arguing that he got him on the back. See if there's a look here. He did try to make a pretty good effort to tag him. Pretty tough call when you're flying around like that. Doesn't look like anything touched Adam Jones. Jones gets out there in scoring position as Wieters draws that walk.
So Wieters on, and that'll do it for Cobb. And we begin the endless trek to the bullpen, as Joe Madden will come out and begin the matchup process in this 2-2 ball game in the 5th. So the Orioles runners on at first and second base. Benavidez coming up, the switch hitter. Cobb is out of there after just 4 2/3 innings. Ball game tied at 2-2. Cobb out of the ball game and not real happy about how it went. He was after his 10th win. He could be the losing pitcher in this ball game, responsible for the base runners.
Yeah, showing some frustration right there as he slams down the water bottle. Really had to labor through 4 2/3 innings, gave up 7 hits, a couple runs, 2 earned runs. Could have 6 strikeouts, though, 87 pitches. Luckily got himself out of some jams because he had a lot of runners on base earlier in this ball game. He gave his way to Jake McGee. Has really done a nice job for the Rays out of the bullpen. Strong arm and lefty. Has been in 58 games at low 2.01 earned run average. 56 strikeouts. Really a power pitcher. Loves his fastball. Does have a pretty good slider, but he comes after hitters. Righties hitting just 102 off him, and lefties 270.
I was talking with Joe Madden about McGee. We were talking about their bullpen before the game, and he couldn't say enough about the work McGee has done. And I asked about those right-handed numbers. He said it's a rising fastball that he didn't have last year that just comes up on right-handed hitters, and it so surprises them that they're not making contact on that pitch. The Orioles have 2 on here. Jones on at second base. Wieters on at first. Betemeet up a single, an RBI, and he is struck out. Betemeet will get turned around here. 141 right-handed, 304 left. You can see why this move was made. Game tied at 2. And Betemeet will take it for a strike on the outside corner.
Good look at his fastball right there, 94 miles an hour. A little bit of deception, too. Arms and legs coming at him.
Jones, the potential go-ahead run at second base. Wieters, the walk at first. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Betemeet will take it down low. McGee has not allowed a run in his last 16 outings, and he has struck out 19 in those 16 appearances. Only 4 hits off him in 13 and a third innings.
Yeah, very effective as of late.
A rookie last year who did some starting for the organization. 1-1 delivery in the way. Betemeet will take it for a strike. Each team has left 4 on base. 3 of those in scoring position. Orioles again with the chance here at first and second. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Betemeet's gone. So McGee comes on and gets it done with a strikeout. The Orioles, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 more are left on base. Looking out at beautiful statues. 2-2. Here in the middle game of the 3-game set against Tampa Bay in the battle to take first place over. The Orioles looking for a win to get it there. They came on strong first inning, got a couple of runs, RBIs, Wieters, and Betemeet, the defense chipping in, and then frustration set in as the Orioles and Rays could not get the big hits. But that buck truck is headed to October. as the Orioles are tied for first with the Yankees coming in and the Rays 2 games out. 2-7-0 for the Orioles, 2-5-1 for the Rays. We go to the 6th inning. Gonzalez with the 3 walks, 3 strikeouts will face Longoria, Francisco, and Pena. Evan Longoria, base hit and a walk. Good solid 288 with all the injury problems, and the pitch is outside for a ball. Now to catch the outside corner. 80th pitch for Gonzalez in the ball game. Both teams have risen to the occasion with their D in this game. Some big double plays have ended innings. 1-1 pitch. That's towards the hole. Machado will cut it off. 1 away. Our PNC Minor League report is brought to you by PNC for the achiever in you. Nick Delmonico, the infielder, 95 games for the season-ending knee surgery took him out. Delmarva, home runs 11, 54 RBIs, and look at the extra base hits, 33.
Yeah, great numbers for the youngster Nick Delmonico. It's unfortunate he ended up getting that knee surgery, but really, really impressive with the things he did offensively this year, trying to learn his position, find a spot for him in the field, but offensively certainly has the capability of doing some big things with the bat.
Here's Ben Francisco. The 1-0 delivery is popped back. Tampa Bay, their 6-game road trip includes 3 here against the Orioles, and they go on to New York. Their 9-2 loss last night. That's the worst loss since June 25, 8-0 against KC. As Buck Showalter's Orioles put up the big numbers against them. The Rays now have 15 straight games against the East. Davis, late jump, not going to get there. That's just a lack of playing time in right field. Miss Davis has had problems tonight getting balls lined up, getting the big jump. This is only his 17th game out there, and hasn't played. He played there last night, but it had been a long while since he'd last been out there.
Well, it's tough to get a good break, and when you don't spend a lot of time in the outfield, you saw his frustration as he claps his glove right there, wishing he would have been in a better position to make a play, because pretty good pitch by Miguel Gonzalez ran in on Francisco, but it's tough to get good reads for outfielders, especially on pitches that jam hitters. They take big cuts, and you just expect it to go a little bit further, so that first step or the hesitation might lead to a base hit, and just what we saw right there.
So 1 down, 1 on. Francisco's 2 for 3 in the game. Here's Pena. Orioles have to adjust the infield defense against him now. Bandino with the runner on has to play in on the dirt rather than back on the grass, and Manny Machado's got to stay over there at third and in a little bit. DeMarlo Hale checking out positioning here. Hardy's right behind second base. Here's the 1-0 delivery. Pena. 1-1.
A good pitch from Gonzalez right there. Another split finger in the bottom of the zone. Pena just swinging through that one.
Pena now with a strikeout he's added in this game has struck out career high 168 times, passing his own mark of 166 that he set back in 08 for the ball club. 1-1 delivery on the way. Didn't get a good cut on that one, and it's 1-2.
It's a little in between right now. Gonzalez is showing him a little bit of everything, mixing him up, and see that fastball sneaking by him up in the zone. Just a half swing there.
Pena getting a start. He came in 2 for 4 against Gonzalez. Joe Madden trying to getting in there against somebody he's had some success against, even if it's limited. 1-2. Pulled the hands back, and a 2-ball 2-strike count. Short lead at first. Francisco. Pena waiting. Here's the 2-2. And he fights it off. Yankees still leading Boston 3-1. They're in the 6th inning of their ball game. Granderson's had a homer. Cano's had a homer in that ball game. Yankees got the early lead 3-0. Red Sox have put one up since.
So much great history between those two teams, the Yankees and the Red Sox. It's always a battle, and it doesn't matter if one team's in the race or out of it. They always go at it hard.
Orioles actually cheering for the Red Sox. 2-ball, 2-strike delivery on the way up high. So a 3-ball, 2-strike count. With only one away, Francisco checking at third. See whether or not Joe Madden wants to run him. Foley down there with the signs. Here's the 3-2, runner not going. Walked him.
Oh, that's a really good pitch right there from Miguel Gonzalez, and you saw Matt Waiters lock up that target, holding it right there. Great split finger. Really close. Surprised that Pena even laid off that pitch. Great pitcher's pitch. Could have gone either way.
So a visit to the mound. That's the 4th walk surrendered by Gonzalez in the ball game. Roberts will be coming up with one away. Runners on at first and second base. 4 walks in the game, the most that have been surrendered on the season. And I'm going to take that back. 5 against Detroit is the high. He did walk 4 against Tampa Bay in the only game he pitched against them, and he's done it again in this one. Bullpen has been active and ready. Tune in to the Mid-Atlantic Sports Report tomorrow, 5 to 7. Tom Davis, Phil Wood, Dave Johnson will continue the postgame coverage of the day game between these two teams. You'll hear from Rays manager Joe Madden on what it takes not only to get to the playoffs but win there. Tomorrow at 5, right here on MASN. 12:30 ball game tomorrow. 12 o'clock goes extra. MASN HD, 12:30 for the game. Roberts a single, 1 for 2. 2 on, 1 down. Gonzalez, that's a balk, I think. He didn't step off the rubber. That's a big balk. He got tangled up, it looked like, trying to turn around and never got off the rubber.
I think he's saying that his front foot stepped in front of the rubber instead of coming behind. That's just an inside move. You're supposed to kind of redirect towards second base with that lead foot, but his lead foot's, when he stepped down, he was in front of the rubber. That's why the umpire called it a balk.
So now 2 are in scoring position. It forces the infield in and gives Roberts a great chance here. 1 down. Roberts to third, just foul. Francisco, the lead runner, back. Pena back to second. Gonzalez committing his second balk of the season to move these runners up and changing the whole complexion of the inning.
Yeah, he was 1 pitch away. Double play ball would have got him out of another jam, but now it is a tough situation. Infield has to be drawn in. Runners at second and third.
0-1 the count. Pick off. Machado having to go out to get it. And Francisco back in on his belly.
Matt Wieters calls for that fastball up and away. Pitch to handle here, thinking Francisco might be leaning down the line a little bit. Of course, the Rays, Joe Madden has put the squeeze on quite a bit this year. He's not afraid to put it on any time in the ball game.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Roberts will foul it back. Roberts 303 with runners in scoring position has been one of their best. Longoria has been number 1 on the team. And then among the regulars comes Roberts. Wheels turning. Madden and Showalter. Fans applauding for a strikeout for Gonzalez. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Got it. And Roberts knew it. Big strikeout, 2 down.
A nice split finger fastball right there from Miguel Gonzalez. Real big pitch. Just kind of locked Roberts up. I don't think he was expecting something to come over the heart of the plate. And sure enough, it did. See the split finger with the rotation right there. A little bit of a buckle, and Roberts. Oh no. Strike 3. Fans making the call.
So now there are 2 down. They'll walk Joyce with Molina, the on-deck batter. Intentional pass will be the 5th walk. First intentional surrendered by Gonzalez. You got to believe in your pitchers to do this. Going to load the bases. Outside for ball 3. Checking to see in the bullpen. Brian Mattis has been throwing, ready, staying warm. Pitch outside. There's ball 4. So Joyce gets the intentional pass. 3rd he's received this year. Molina up. Buck Showalter had Brian Mattis ready in case Joe Madden responded with a left-hander. Now Molina with 2 down. Molina's hit into a double play and a ground ball, flying out to right field. Game tied at 2, top of the 6th. Said Gonzalez to himself, he wants me to do what? Walk the bases loaded. Molina waiting on it, and that'll be inside for a ball. Francisco reached with a single. Pena got the walk, and Joyce got the intentional walk. The balk had already moved the first 2 up. A couple of grand slam home runs in his career. He's got a career high 6 homers this season. Here's the 1-0 delivery. Molina will take it for a strike.
Big pitch right there. Look at that pitch count up over 101 pitches now. Really bearing down. Been in some jams, able to pitch himself out, but this is obviously the biggest one in this ball game.
And this will be his ball game right here. He'll be done after this inning, you would believe. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery. Molina swinging 1 and 2. Fans will be up now. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Molina fights it off. Molina's gone 1 for 2 with the bases loaded this year, a couple of singles. Only 18 walks for Molina. Gonzalez 1-2 towards first base. Reynolds, he's got it. Inning over. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Bases are left loaded. Walk a man to load him up. Believe in your players. He did in Gonzalez, and he got it done. 2-2. Showalter loves that. Home opener could be against the Twins. American League East 19 times next year. The Interleague has Washington, Dodgers, San Diego, Colorado at home. Washington, San Diego, San Francisco, Arizona on the road. Houston, of course, joins the American League next year, and the Orioles will play them 6 times. In our Wired Wednesday, Buck Showalter before the game talked about the new schedule.
My first look at the schedule, it's probably one of the best that I've seen in a long time. I think getting Houston in the American League and listening to some of the not complaints, but complaints about things that could have been done better. The big thing is starting times on getaway days and stuff. And these aren't robots. This is not some traveling. It's human beings, and you want to keep the level of game up. So from schedules I've seen, this one has a chance to be real good. It's obviously not the finished product, but the one thing I like, it's really good for the Orioles fans, and it's got things a lot more where they should be.
Either way you look at it, Major League schedule is a grueling schedule. But Buck made a point there on the getaway days. That's the most important thing. I think taking care of players, the travel is so hard, and it just wears on your body. And if you have to get up on a late travel day and play the next day, you're just not going to see a great Major League, effort. I mean, of course they're going to go out there and give everything they have, but I mean, these guys are tired. It's a hard, grueling grind.
It is an interesting schedule next year. Here is Mike Reynolds leading it off, and he'll take the pitch for a strike. That'll be it for Gonzalez. There's the skipper coming over. Kept him in the game, 2-2. He'll leave, giving up the 2 runs on 6 hits. Foul back. And we are down to the bottom of the 6th inning now with this ball game tied. Rays got 1 in the first. The Orioles got 2. Rays tied it up in the 3rd inning, and nobody's crossed the plate since then. Reynolds has struck out twice. Left-handers pitched to him. Foul tipped into the mitt. He struck out 3 times and 1 away in the 6th inning. McGee gets the K. Our Rose Extra postgame tune-in brought to you by PNC Bank. For the achiever in you. Jim and Rick will have a look back at however this ball game ends up, and it's a good one so far. Buck Showalter will listen in at the press conference, and you'll hear from the players and more after the ball game. Davis coming up a single, and he's walked. McGee came on in relief, got the strikeout in the 5th inning. Cobb with a 2-run, 7 hits over 4 2/3. Chris Davis fouls it back. The Orioles, that home opener on April 5, 6, 7. It's only 3 games against Minnesota. Then they go right up to Boston and New York. Then they get home for the first real homestand. They have Tampa Bay, the Dodgers, and Toronto coming in for 9 games in the middle of April. It's going to be a different look. Interleague games every day, including opening day. What Cincinnati has the Angels for their opening day game.
Wow. Well, that ought to be fun for the fans, though. Different looks. And
on the way to no leagues and 1 Major League Baseball existence, really. That's where it's going.
Yeah, eventually. And I'll tell you what's going to be tough next year is the fact that there are going to be so many interleague games. The fact that the pitchers, have to stay fresh with their offensive game, getting bunts down and taking some swings. See how that plays out through the course of the 2013 season.
1 ball, 2 strike count on Davis. 1 down, nobody on. Locked up in a good one. Here's the 1-2 delivery to him, and that'll be fouled away. But Showalter, we've talked to them a lot. Someday we'll get him sit down when we have time to get the whole thing on the air. He's got a whole board figured out on what he wants Major League Baseball to look like. He'd eliminate the 2 teams in Florida or move them. He would have matchup games, so you play everybody the same number of times. It'd only be 1 league. You'd set up the divisions by regions. You wouldn't be out of your time zone, but for maybe once, at most twice a year. It's interesting. I mean, he's thought a lot about it. That's right there for a strike. Now McGee continuing to do what we told you he's been doing, and that's striking out people. He struck out all 3 he's faced.
Yeah, this is just a dot on the outside corner. Look at fastball. See the life on his fastball. 96 miles an hour, right on the black. Locks up Chris Davis.
No wonder Joe Madden was so high on him today, talking about him. 2 down. Manny Machado is hit into a double play and a fielder's choice. 1 for 6 in the 2 games as the Manny chant begins. And the pitch, a strike in the outside corner. Orioles coming into this game with the best month offensively they've had all year, batting average wise at .274 as a team. By far the best month. That ball will be fouled away. Orioles have had some real good months, but Reynolds, Hardy, Wieters, Jones, Machado, the big bats here in September have really spiced the numbers up so far on this 12th day of September. Machado 0-2. Tonight, though, they've been quieted so far. Fouled away again.
Had some opportunities. Both teams have had opportunities in the first half of this ball game. Both starting pitchers kind of struggling, working their way out of some jams, though. Pretty impressive that it's only a 2-2 ball game. As many jams as both Gonzalez and Cobb were in. Credit them, though, for pitching themselves out of the jams.
The 0-2 will be up high, and a 1-ball 2-strike count from McGee. 2 down, bases empty. And the 1-2 that'll skip away, and a 2-ball 2-strike count. Pitching coach and his starter right there. Here's the 2-2 delivery. 3 foul balls have gone the other way. Tough to obviously get the timing down here on this left-hander.
Yeah, it really is. Kind of arms and elbows and everything kind of coming at you, and that fastball explodes out of his hand. Seen him touch 97 with it. Just hard to pick up a good read. That fastball, Manny doing a good job fighting to stay alive.
Machado hitting .259 off lefties, .277 right-handers. 2-2 again. Struck out the side. In fact, he struck out all 4 batters that he's faced. So McGee gets it done. We've completed 6 here at Camden Yards, and this one's still to be decided.
For sure, a lot of swing and misses. Nice pitch right there. Matt Wieters checks, gets the call. Another one that locks up Ryan Roberts. with his 4 strikeouts right there. He battled through 6 innings, didn't have his best stuff, gave up 6 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 5 walks. Shows that he didn't have quite the command that we're used to from Miguel Gonzalez, but did have 4 strikeouts and battled through 104 pitches. Really quite an effort by Miguel, not having the stuff that we've seen him have. His team certainly happy with the effort, though, keeping him in the ball game. Darren O'Day now comes in relief. 59 games this year, 2.34 earned run average, 7 wins for Darren. 57 2/3 innings pitched, 58 strikeouts, lefties 216 and righties just 206 off Darren O'Day.
And B.J. Upton will lead it off as we go to the 7th inning. 2-2 ball game. Upton's 0 for 13 lifetime against O'Day. Curtis Granderson has had his 2nd home run for the Yankees, and the Yankees now are leading it by a score of 5-1 over the Red Sox 7th inning. 0-1 deliveries taken up high, so it begins to look as though the Orioles are going to have to win this in order to stay tied for first with the Yankees, barring a Red Sox comeback in that ball game. Upton, home run to lead off the ball game, is 22nd of the year. He's 1 for 3. Keppinger and then Zobrist due up. O'Day will miss outside with it. O'Day's 9th appearance against Tampa Bay this year. He's given up a run on 2 hits in 8 2/3 innings against them. He has struck out 9, walked only 1. The Rays are hitting .069 against O'Day this year. Upton asked for the timeout. O'Day working a little too fast for him.
Well, Darren's tough on a lot of teams. Of course, very non-traditional, coming from that sidearm slot, sometimes a little bit lower. Has that big sweeping slider, nice little 2-seam fastball that he can sink, and then of course that upshoot fastball. So a lot of weapons from the side and just a different look that hitters aren't used to.
Count goes to 3 balls and 1 strike on the speedster. O'Day, 3-1 delivery to him, and that's in there. Upton takes it, and the count goes to 3-2. Trying to draw a walk. Upton leading off the inning, trying to get on here, and his speed could come into play. Tampa Bay is number 1 in stolen bases in the American League, led by Upton with 25. He's 5th in the league. O'Day's 3-2 delivery to him, and that one's going to go into the corner. It is a foul ball. Upton back to the box on the 3-2 count. Ball game that's been tied since the 3rd inning. Each team has had the lead. Again, the 3-2 delivery, and he walked him. So let's see how that plays out here. Now Madden wants to use the speed that he gets on here in the 7th inning. The O's close out a dramatic 2012 regular season here at Oriole Park with the final 7-game homestand. It'll start Monday, September 24. Hope you'll get out, buckle up, and the Orioles wrap up the 20th anniversary season of Oriole Park at Camden Yards. There'll be special giveaways, promotions, and special events. 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com.
Well, Keppinger certainly a guy that can handle the bat for the Rays. A lot of options here. Can either bunt, hit and run with Upton's speed, and just straight steal him.
Machado in at third base. Keppinger raised his hands on the bat, but kind of as an afterthought there. So hard to tell whether he really meant that he was going to square around. He's got 1 sacrifice this year. As we mentioned, he comes in as the hottest hitter in the lineup. Machado's on the grass at third. Good lead at first. Upton. There he goes. Inside. Weeder's throw. Not in time. So there is the speed of B.J. Upton, and he went right at it. 30th stolen base.
Yeah, didn't waste any time. Got out there, nice lead, good jump. You see his speed. Matt Waiters, of course, with a great strong arm, sets up well. Quick throw and release. Robert Andino with that swipe tag just a little bit late. 30th stolen base of the year. Power and speed.
Now in scoring position with nobody out. Delivery to Keppinger, trying to hit it to the right side to move him up. 1 ball, 1 strike. So for the moment at least, play small ball. Rays trying to put a run in for the lead in the 7th inning. Upton will be held close by Hardy. You saw Keppinger just trying to put the ball to the right side to move him up. Tried it again and misses. 1 and 2.
Yeah, he did try it again. You see him trying to force that slider over there. Tough pitch as it sweeps across the zone to hit to the right side. Timing has to be perfect. I'm really surprised they didn't try to bunt in this situation. If Manny Machado has had one flaw, it's only on some bunt situations where he hasn't been able to make a decision on whether or not to come and get the ball.
1-2 look. Hardy had backed off. The Orioles don't want to give Keppinger all of that shortstop hole, but it's very tough for Hardy.
Sure is, because Keppinger showed that he wants to go to the right side, but if 2 strikes, he can do whatever he wants. Just try to put the ball in play. So JJ's got a lot of ground to cover over there, keeping Upton close and then trying to fill that hole back up.
Count goes to 2-2. Upton taking a lot of looks around just to make sure nobody sneaks in behind him. Hardy's got the responsibility of holding him. Here's the 2-2 delivery, and that's what the Orioles wanted. He put it in the air. Reynolds will put it away in foul territory. 1 down. So the unproductive at bat for Keppinger.
Yeah, nice job of pitching by Darren O'Day. Kept flipping that slider up there, and we talked about how hard it is just to make contact with that pitch, and he continued to try to force it to the right side. O'Day induces that weak fly ball to Mark Reynolds.
Here is Zobrist. Zobrist with a 2-for-3 lifetime against O'Day. Again, Hardy's got the job. Now he can move in closer as they in the infield figure Zobrist will pull the ball on the ground. So Hardy's right there with Upton. And he was going to do it that time and fouled it back on the off-speed pitch. Zobrist leads the team with 23 game-tying and go-ahead RBIs this season. He's got a chance right here to add another. Zobrist, the walk, first time up, is flied out and then struck out. 0-1 count. O'Day looking back. Sweepers outside. 1-1.
And a couple dangerous hitters right here. Zobrist very patient at the plate. Longoria waiting in the wings, but tough situation. But Darren O'Day's been in these before.
Here's the 1-1 delivery to him. Right straight back. Zobrist 1-2. Here's the 1-2 delivery, got him to reach, but he found a piece of it.
Such a good pitch right there on the outside corner. Now O'Day and Wieters can work. He worked that 2-seam fastball, a little sinking action off the plate. But Darren O'Day is very good at throwing that backdoor slider as well. Zobrist sees it so far off he might give up on it. Come back in and catch the corner.
Here's the 1-2. Came back inside. Did he go? Nope. 2-2.
Take a look at this check swing here. Slider down and in. Zobrist wants it, but then stops in plenty of time.
A lot of extra base hits for Zobrist. He's got 34 doubles, 10th in the league, 7 triples. That's 3rd in the league. 2-2. Only one away. Runner off second base. And another pop-up. Second base. And Dino. This has been as tough a ball game to get big hits in as we've seen in a long time. Boy, both these teams have had their chances and just have not been able to find that elusive big hit. 2 down.
Now, after the first inning, you thought the score was going to be 19-20, but all the pitchers have done a nice job. You see Mount Waiters intentionally walking Evan Longoria here.
Intentional pass. This will be the second of the ball game surrendered by the Orioles. It worked last time. Joyce got it. 6th inning. Loaded him up. On deck, Francisco. Ryan Mattis has been in the bullpen a couple of times. And pitch for ball 3. And there's ball 4. So the intentional pass puts runners on at first and second, but there are 2 down. And Francisco coming to the plate. Talked about the problems for the teams with Tampa Bay 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position. And the Orioles a couple for 9.
Big situation here. Mount Waiters going out to talk with Darren O'Day, making sure they're on the same page. Obviously, having to execute a good pitch. Francisco hot today, a couple hits already in the ball game.
Francisco's got no numbers against Darren O'Day. Two down. Runners at first and second. 7th inning. Ball game tied at 2-2. And he goes after the first pitch and misses. RBI, single, double, and he's lined out. The Bird ready to go for 7th inning stretch.
Putting a little voodoo jinx on Francisco.
Get the whammy going. O'Day with the 0-1. Fans are up again.
That upshoot fastball from O'Day. Started him off with a slider, and this pitch right at the top of the zone. Great call by Waiters. Great execution by O'Day.
Here's the 0-2 delivery.
Why not, though? Hey, try to hit that same spot if he offers at it. See if we get him bite again.
Francisco coming to Tampa Bay August 31 from Houston for just these kind of situations. 1 ball, 2 strike count, 2 on. O'Day got him. 2 more left on. The whammy works. It remains tied. 7th inning stretch time brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey. Fly straight. Drink responsibly. great confidence being shown by Buck Showalter and his pitchers, though. I mean, he walked one intentionally to load him up, walks another one there to put 2 on. He's trusting the staff to get it done, and they have.
Yeah, well, these guys have proven themselves all year, and so why change now? Buck Showalter has confidence in all of his pitchers. Darren O'Day pitching out of a tough jam right there, but Miguel Gonzalez did earlier in the ball game. Hey, if need be, you have to put guys on base in order to set up those force outs and maybe a better matchup down the line. Francisco never had an at-bat off Darren O'Day, so they take advantage of that situation.
You know, I love it here at the end of the year, though. A lot of the times this season we've talked about Buck, and he's talked about doing things for the future and getting guys in and giving them a chance. I love right now to see the decisions that are about right now winning ball games. Yeah. To me, this is where you really find out what a manager's thinking.
Oh, you got that right. And he goes to his horses, guys that have proven themselves throughout their careers, guys that have track records. Of course, Buck definitely loves them, but guys that have proven themselves and helped put the Orioles in the position they are today are the guys he's going to lean on right now as they go into the stretch.
So we go to the bottom half of the 7th inning in this tie game, and Wade Davis, his 46th appearance, out of the bullpen to pitch. McGee worked an inning and a third and struck out everybody he faced, 4 Ks. Now Davis on, and Robert Andino a single, and he is grounded out. And Davis's pitch is inside. Sam Fuld will come on to play in left field with Francisco out for a pinch hitter. Another big part of this bullpen. Strike on the outside corner.
Yeah, Wade Davis has had some success coming out of the bullpen for the Rays, but I think the Orioles offense pretty glad McGee's out of there as he mowed down every hitter that he had to face. 4 strikeouts, 4 hitters.
1-2 delivery, foul back. Andino a 1 for 9 lifetime off Davis.
See the numbers there. Lefties 173 and righties just 213. So he has enough weapons to get both lefties and righties out.
1 ball, 2 strike count. Andino a single and a ground ball out and a strikeout. That's 5 in a row that have been struck out by the 2 relief pitchers. Pennant Fever has struck Birdland, and your best way to get your hands on tickets for any potential postseason games here at Oriole Park is by becoming a 2013 full or partial season plan holder. Place a deposit now on 2013 plans, including the convenient 13-game plan. You'll be guaranteed an opportunity to buy 2012 Oriole postseason before the general public. Swing and a miss made by Nate McClouth. You can get information 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com/postseason. McClouth with a single. He is struck out and he is grounded out, robbed of a hit on a nice play by Zobrist his last time up, and that strike is there as well.
Wade Davis last year started for the Rays, so new role for him coming out of the bullpen, but certainly has all the weapons. That's why he's had so much success with lefties and righties, because he has the full arsenal of pitches: slider, curveball, change, power fastball. Very aggressive in the zone.
It's been a strikeout night for this team. 6 from their starter Cobb. McGee got 4. Now Davis with 1. Here's the 1-2 delivery, and that's going to be inside. We have mentioned that this Tampa Bay staff is looking to lead the majors in strikeouts as well as ERA before this season is done. They are on their way to setting perhaps a new American League mark in strikeouts for a team. 2-2 delivery, and McClouth will foul that one back. The American League high, Rays came into the game only 90 away from the record held by the 2001 Yankees. Only 90 shy of it. Now they're only 79. Here's the 2-2. It's taken down low. Nate McClouth working the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. McClouth has not faced Davis before this series. Three-2 pitch. First base and a shattered bat. Pena's got it. 2 down. That'll bring up J.J. Hardy. 1 for 3 in the ball game. A single and a run scored he would like to continue what he did last night when he picked up the 2 home runs in the ball game and had a 5 RBI game.
Pretty
red hot hitter.
Yeah, very impressive performance last night by J.J. Hardy. 21 home runs on the year with those 64 RBIs. Leads the way for all Major League shortstops.
And a strike taken. Hardy has had good numbers against Davis, going 8 for 21, a .381 batting average. 2 down, bases empty, 7th inning. Here's the 0-1. Hardy to third and foul. Ball game that looked like it was going to be wide open offensively has been anything but. Pitches down low. Upton started the ball game with a home run, first batter up in the game. Orioles got 2 in the first inning. Wieters and Betamit took a 2-1 lead. 3rd inning, Tampa Bay tied it up, RBI double Francisco. And since then it's been all pitching. 2-7-0 for the Orioles, 2-6-1 for the Rays.
This is more like a typical Rays and O's game.
And a swing and a miss. He got him. Puts the tag on him, and that's that. 2 more strikeouts here in this inning. And the Orioles go down 1-2-3. We've completed 7. Ball game at 2-2. Tomorrow's action, it'll be Wei and Chen on the mound against Jeremy Hellickson. Our coverage on MASN HD. Note the time, 12 o'clock. O's Extra presented by Jeep, followed by game coverage at 12:30. All the access you need right here on MASN.
Should be another pretty good pitchers duel. Wei and Chen, of course, one of the great rookie years. 12 wins for the Orioles at 4.06 earned run average. But Jeremy Hellickson, another great young arm for Tampa Bay. Just a 3.33 earned run average, 98 strikeouts on the year.
Hellickson will bring a 5-3 mark against the Orioles into that ball game. Pedro Strop is going to bring himself into this ball game.
Pedro Strop, of course, a little shaky for a few outings, but last night able to kind of right the ship, build his confidence back up. Righty's hitting 179, lefties 233 off him. It was nice to see him able to attack the strike zone last night, and hopefully that does build his confidence.
O'Day worked an inning, couple of walks, 1 intentional and a strikeout. Here is Carlos Pena. Pena shift on in the infield. Strope's pitch to him is the fastball right there. Pena 0 for 2 off Strope. You're seeing now, not that it doesn't happen in other games, but really now in this pennant chase, what managers talk about when they talk about, it's not just about innings pitched, it's the kind of innings pitched. Pressure innings, like O'Day had. He may have worked only an inning, but that was a pressure inning. With the leadoff walk, having a couple of pop outs, intentional pass, 2 on, 2 down, tie game.
Yeah, tight situations, and you get tested all year, and those situations stand out with Buck, and that's why he's going to go to his horses in those situations. Guys that he can trust, guys that have been in that pressure type of situation and have risen to the occasion. Darren O'Day's done it all year for him.
1-1 delivery on the way to him. Ground ball off the end of the bat. Andino deep. Almost underthrew that one. Pena retired.
Take a look at the 8 and 9 setup man and closer. Jim Johnson, 6 2/3 innings against the Rays. It's an .095 batting average. Pedro Strop almost just as well, 6 2/3 with just a 100 batting average. Both have a 0 earned run average against the Rays this year. Talk about a great 8-9 setup and closer.
Roberts will take the pitch for a strike. Brian Roberts 0 for 1 off Strop. Roberts a single, 1 for 3 in the ball game. He's gone 2 for 4 in the first 2 games. We're in the 8th. Strop with the 0-1. Popped him up first base. Reynolds. 2 down. Last hit picked up by Tampa Bay, a single by Francisco in the 6th inning. They've had runners on via the walk since then. For the Orioles, their last hit, 5th inning, was a single by Adam Jones. Orioles have had 7 in a row retired since then. Here's Matt Joyce. A walk, a strikeout, and an intentional pass. And the pitch outside for a ball. Joyce 0 for 3 off Pedro Strop. 1-0. He'd like to get this done right here. Luke Scott has come out in the on-deck circle. The former Oriole to be a pinch hitter for Molina. You would just as soon stay away from that bat in this situation. Here's the 2-0 delivery. And laid that one in there. What was that?
That was a little slider right there. He's actually had more confidence in his slider. When he can't command the fastball, that's his go-to pitch. Be a lot nicer if he could command that 98-mile-an-hour fastball, though, and then spike that slider for some swing and misses.
2-1 delivery on the way. There's the fastball blooped in the air. That's going to be a base hit. Played in by McLouth. So a single with 2 down here in the 8th will get Scott to the plate. Time to text in your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game. Here are the candidates so far. Wilson Betemit, first inning, RBI base hit. Miguel Gonzalez, 2 runs, 6 hits over 6 innings. And Matt Wieters, who has delivered an RBI base hit. Text in your vote, A, B, or C, 318-26. So here's Luke Scott, pinch hitting. Comes on from Molina in the number 9 spot, 13 homers, 47 RBIs. Will face Strop for the first time. And the pitch outside for a ball.
Luke Scott's certainly a dangerous hitter. His numbers quite aren't up to his standards due to injury this year. Been battling all year, but very dangerous, especially in this park.
Had an 0 for 2 in the ball game last night. 1-0 delivery to him, and he'll foul that one back. So another key pressure situation. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down. Each team now with 2 runs on 7 hits in the ball game after that base hit by Joyce, who's on at first. Scott 284 over the last 21 games, including 4 home runs. Here's the 1-1 pitch to him. Muscled up on that one down the line, and that's going to be a foul ball. Tried to pull it and went off the end of the bat. 1-2.
Well, a lot like Joyce, that fastball has so much latent movement. Hitters have a good aggressive swing on it, but right at the end. It has that late life. It gets off the end of their bat. Joyce able to find a hole out there in left center field. Luke Scott almost dumped one in down the left field line.
Well, Wayne Kirby moving people over towards left. Everybody, including Davis, the right fielder. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. Again, fans up. One, 2 to Scott. Fouls it off to hold the count at 1-2.
Pedro Strop wanted that one. Pretty good slider. Luke Scott able to fight it off, stay alive in this at bat.
Strop ready with a 1-2. Runner off first base. Little ground ball, shortstop. That's Hardy over. Got him. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. This crowd getting to see a heck of a ball game. It remains tied at 2. Support the American Heart Association Heart Walk. 413 walks, $20,650. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. Gary Thorne, Mike Bordick here at Camden Yards. Deeper into the pen we go.
Yeah, Joel Peralta now on in relief. He's been hot and cold for the Rays. He's been in 66 games, 3.57 earned run average, couple saves to boot. 58 innings this year, 73 strikeouts. Certainly has just some deception. He's a short armor, pretty good fastball, nice split finger. Lefty's hitting 159, righty's 216. But here recently, he's allowed runs in 3 of his last 7 appearances. So we'll see what they're going to get tonight out of Peralta.
Adam Jones, Wieters, and Betemit due up. Davis worked an inning. Wade Davis struck out 2. McGee an inning and a third, struck out all 4 that he faced. Cobb the starter, 2 runs, 7 hits, 4 2/3 innings. Adam Jones a single, a 10-game hit streak. He has grounded out, flied out, got the single his last time up. Peralta ready. Lobaton doing the catching with Molina out, and that is in there for a strike. Jones a 1 for 6 off Peralta. Here's Lobaton behind the plate. 26,076. 26,076 tonight. And they've seen a great game and not done yet. 0-1 on Jones. And he'll take the pitch on the outside corner for a strike. 0-2. Red Sox have added a couple of runs in their half of the 7th inning. They were behind 5-1. It's now 5-3 in that ball game. Yankees batting in the 8th. Orioles tied with the Yankees for first. Tampa Bay 2 games out. Strop working that last inning, giving up just a single. Here's the 0-2. Jones will take it up high. Peralta falling off first base side hard that time. 1 ball, 2 strike count.
Well, part of his delivery is that big fall off to the first base side, which opens up that third base lane for a bunt opportunity. Of course, Adam Jones wanting to win this game with 1 swing of the bat. Good opportunities for some of the Orioles hitters if Peralta stays in this ball game.
Peralta with a 1-2 count. Jones takes it in the dirt. And the count goes to 2-2. It's about as big a hole between short and second as you'll see. This is what the numbers show. So they give Adam Jones the whole middle of the infield.
Yeah, that must look pretty good as a hitter.
Yeah. Two balls, 2 strikes. Fouls it back. Orioles have touched up Peralta the previous 6 games against the Orioles this year. In 5 1/3 innings, he's given up 3 runs on 5 hits, including 2 home runs. He has walked 2 and struck out 10. Ball game tied at 2. Two pitch to Jones. That'll go to short. Zobrist has position. And 1 away in the 8th inning. Follow the Orioles with the MLB.com at Bat 12 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, BlackBerry, and Windows Mobile. You can get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at Bat 31826 or go to Orioles.com for details. Matt Wieters coming up. Got a single in the first inning in the RBI. Last time an intentional walk. And he has struck out in the middle. And Wieters will take that one for a strike. 3 for 7. Lifetime off Peralta. And exactly the opposite here. They move the infield around on Wieters. Sending Zobrist over towards second. Leave the big hole at short.
Well, Joe Madden and the Rays really kind of the architect of, you know, moving or the shift and playing percentages. A lot of teams have adopted that.
We've called it at times the year of the shift. More shifts have been instituted this year, and I'm still waiting for the end of the year report. Somebody's doing it, I know, that will show hits that weren't picked up this year because of the shift. Because every one of the pitches and at-bats in the majors all year long is recorded compared to what the positioning was the year before. Wieters asked for the timeout. 0-2. The only home run in the ball game, the first batter of the ball game, Upton, with his 22nd to kick the game off. Here's the 0-2 delivery. Wieters to first. That's a fair ball. It'll roll into foul territory. Joyce going over to get it. They'll play the ricochet. Going into second base is Wieters. Close. He's in. A double.
Well, now Wieters, he might not be as fleet of foot as some hitters or some baseball players, but he's been running the bases really well. Drives this ball down the line just out of the reach of Pena there. Might have even tipped off his glove. But look at the tight turn here by Wieters. Very tight, close to the infield, keeping a straight line there. If he bows out any, it's going to be a really close play. Second base, it was pretty close anyway. Nice base running by Matt Wieters. Gets himself in scoring position with one out.
Potential go-ahead, game-winning run at second base. We're in the 8th inning, one away. Betemeet, RBI first inning, has struck out twice since. Are you tempted to run for Wieters?
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah. That's a tough call.
It sure is.
You want him behind the plate to call the game, and if it should go on, you want him, if there's another at bat, to be in that spot. On the other hand, could be the game-winning run. That's what managers get paid the big bucks for.
Right.
Here's Wilson Betemeet trying to get him home. And up high for a ball. That will send Lobaton to the mound. Checking the matchup sheet. Zobrist comes in to talk about coverage.
So making sure everybody's on the same page with signs here. Matt Wieters, being a catcher, knows all about how to switch up signs and pick them up.
Betemeet 0 for 3 off Peralta. 2-0. A very tough night for both teams offensively to find a way to get the big hit. The fan, Nick Markakis, watching. Delivery. Peralta, those last 3 have not been close. 3-0.
I don't know if they're really trying to be careful to pitch to Wilson Betemeet, but he does have some zones where he's very dangerous. And of course, he's had a lot of late inning heroics for the Orioles, especially in the early part of the season. But Showalter pretty happy he's up there in this situation.
Both bullpens have been active throughout the inning. Here's the 3-0 delivery. Betemeet taking. It's there for a strike. So Peralta gets it to 3-1 with 1 down. Betemeet's got left center to himself. Upton's moved around to his right. Fold playing left in the normal spots. There's a big gap there in left center. Peralta ready. Here's the 3-1. And Betemeet to right field, but it's going to stay up. Joyce was in a couple of steps right there to make the play. So Betemeet retired, 2 down. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Beautiful night at Camden Yards and a ball game worthy of a pennant race. Here's Reynolds. 3 strikeouts in this game. 0 for his last 11. 2 down. Wieters at second. Outside for a ball. Reynolds 0 for 7 off Peralta. Kyle Farnsworth in the bullpen.
Reynolds not the best numbers off Peralta, 0 for 7. And he's in a little bit of a mini slump, I guess you would say, for him. He's been so hot. Be a great time for him to break out.
1-0 delivery to him. Under the bat foul. Still has had 9 home runs over the last 12 games, counting this one. And a red hot hitter in September. Orioles looking for the go ahead in the bottom of the 8th inning. Wieters with a 1-out double, still at second base. 2 down now. Joe Peralta with a 1-1 pitch. And gets a hit on the count 1-2, and the tapper outside of third base. This is what the Tampa Bay team has been about all year. These are the kind of games they've played in. What's surprising is they are 20-24 in one-run games. You would think with their staff in close ball games that they would have won more of those, but not so. One ball, 2 strike count with 2 down. Wieters the big lead at second. Reynolds takes it down low, 2-2. Peralta set a look. Here's the 2-2 delivery. And 3-2.
He wanted it. There's a lot of want there from Mark Reynolds. He's itching to come up with that big hit.
Lobaton goes to the mound. Fans standing. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. The 2 closers, of course, much talked about for this series, with both Jim Johnson and Fernando Rodney tied for the American League lead with 42 saves. We may get to see one or both before this ball game is over, the way it's going. Johnson's been up for the entire inning, just staying ready. If the Orioles get a run, he'll be in. He'll probably be in even if they don't.
Yeah, I would think so.
3-2, 2 down. Peralta to Reynolds. Walked him. Whoa. Madden on the home plate umpire, Marvin Hudson. Saw him, Marvin.
Pretty close pitch right there, Joe Madden and Marvin Hudson going at it a little bit about the strike zone. Of course, earlier in the ball game that was called a strike. It's been going either way. Take a look at it right here, trying to bring that 2-seamer back. It is off the plate for sure. Mark Reynolds kind of freezing there a second, making sure Marvin Hudson calls it a ball, and indeed he does.
Peralta either praying or talking to himself, or both. Chris Davis 2 for 6 with a home run off Peralta. The Orioles looking for one run. They'll take it. They get the go-ahead. More if they can get it. Davis a single, a walk, and a struck out. Runners off first and second. And that pitch is in there for a strike. Wieters' secondary lead gets cut down with a left-handed batter up since they moved Zobrist the shortstop over. So Wieters about a couple of steps closer to second base than he was with a right-hander up. Zobrist is so close to the bag himself.
Yeah, he's got to do what he can to get a good secondary, though. Create a little bit of momentum for himself out there. Every inch counts.
Here's the 0-1 delivery to Chris Davis. Towering fly ball to right. Joyce. He's got it, and that'll do it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 2 are left on base. And the battle goes on. 2-2. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by Dodge. See your authorized Dodge dealer and experience a world of performance, design, and fuel efficiency. Schedule a test drive or go to Dodge.com and check out their powerful lineup. With Mike Bordick, Gary Thorne here, 2-2 ball game. Started out as though it was going to be something offensively minded, as ended up being a ball game in which the hitters cannot find those RBIs. Orioles will bring their closer in, 9th inning.
Jim Johnson comes in relief. Pedro Strop and Jim Johnson here, even in a tie ball game. Buck wants to get through this, and hopefully his offense can pick up the pace there in the 9th inning to add on a run to win the ball game. But righty's hitting .213, lefty's just .222 off Jim Johnson, and he has been a monster as a closer this year. Last 15 appearances, 12 out of 12 in save opportunities. Great fastball, great sinking life. There's a lot of other pitches to go along with it, but that fastball is his pitch.
And has to be careful here. Upton's already had a home run. The leadoff batter started the ball game with his 22nd. A couple of ground ball outs and a walk since. Ooh, wow. And welcome to the 9th inning.
Well, this one got away from Johnson. Boy, that's an up and in fastball. Right about head high. Pretty dangerous pitch from Jim. Upton able to get out of the way.
Upton 2 for 12 off Johnson, including a home run. 1 ball, 1 strike count. And the pitch to him to short. Hit hard. Hardy. One away. Kathy Marzola, tonight's Maryland Lottery's contestant of the game. She wins $500 for being selected and another $100 for each strikeout the Orioles pitched today. So far in the ballgame, there have been 5 Ks. She's won $1,000. All the latest info on new games, current promotions, and second chance contests, mdlottery.com. 1 away in the 9th. Jeff Keppinger a single, a run scored in the 3rd inning, a 1 for 4 in the ball game, and he'll take that for a strike.
So Keppinger kind of buckle his knees a little bit. You don't expect that from Jim Johnson. First pitch, big breaking ball. Up there looking dead red typically.
Keppinger's faced Johnson only once, 0 for 1. Keppinger, the DH in this ball game, couple of hits in the series, 2 for 8. Johnson will get that one in for a strike 1 and 2. Don't think that first pitch to Upton didn't register with everybody else in that dugout, who may have thought about leaning over the plate and decided otherwise.
Yeah. Don't dig in, boys.
Intentional or otherwise, that was up. Dismissed outside. 1 ball, 2 strike count.
Pretty good pitch right there from Jim Johnson. Maybe a makeup call.
Here's the 2-2 delivery. Back inside. Johnson's gone 4 for 4 in save opportunities against Tampa Bay this year. He's pitched 7 previous games against them. No runs, 2 hits, 6 2/3 innings. Ground ball up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. So Keppinger is on with his second hit of the game here in the 9th inning with 1 away. Updating you on the voting for the AT&T Player of the Game. The results so far close. Still time to text in your vote. A, B, or C. 31826. Results in the O's Extra post game show. One away. Keppinger will come out of there, and Rich Thompson will come on to run. There is 1 away here. Middle part of the order. Zobrist takes a strike. 0 for 3 and a walk in the game. Zobrist looking down to third. See if Rich Thompson's going to be running or not here. Zobrist 6 for 16, 2 home runs off Jim Johnson. Of all the numbers this year, Johnson against Tampa Bay, the most striking one is he hasn't struck anybody out. No walks, no strikeouts. He hasn't given anything up. 0-1 pitch, and that's it for a strike. 0-2.
Well, he'd like to just get a ground ball right here and turn the double play and get out of this inning.
Bear down time for these two teams. Here's the 0-2 delivery. There's a foul ball. Just tipped it right at the plate.
That's surprising. That ball did not go anywhere. Just stuck right at the point of the plate.
And both Wieters and the home plate umpire Marvin Hudson kind of digging at that spot. It kind of made a crater. Just went right straight down. They filled it in. Right at the very back of the plate. It just stuck right there.
Ball's not carrying much back there.
No, not carrying. Not a lot of wind back there. 0-2 count on Zobrist. And he'll follow back. Stays at 2 strikes. These teams so evenly matched over their existence, with the Orioles leading the all-time career series by 1 game. 2 runs, 8 hits in this game for both. Trying to catch Thompson, maybe looking down to second. Thompson, a 33-year-old, called up with the expanded roster. He played at AAA all year. He's at first. Here's the 0-2 delivery. Intentionally up high. You saw Wieters not even going down into the crouch that time.
Yeah, kind of thinking that Thompson might be running right there, so the high pitch, something he can handle.
Thompson, in his minor league career, 13 years in the minors, has stolen 464 bases.
He's a base stealer.
At least once. He's 33 now. I guess he can still run. He had 22 stolen bases this year. Down to first and foul. Count stays at a ball and 2 strikes. $1,452 minor league games for Thompson. That's hanging in.
That sure is, for the love of the game, right?
13 years worth. He got about as big a lead as you can get, going back in on his belly that time, just in time. Runner not going, ball in the air to center. Jones. Runner halfway. 2 down. So a runner at first, 2 away. Longoria's coming up. Longoria 3 for 16 off Johnson with a home run. He's picked up a single, a walk, 2 walks, 1 intentional, and has grounded out. The 1-0 delivery to him. That's a strike.
Well, I guess one of the situations is when you pinch run in those type of situations, if he happened to steal second base, they would have just walked Longoria.
Yeah.
You know, such a dangerous hitter. Not sending him gives him a chance to try to win this ball game with 1 swing of the bat.
Again, Oriole fans up. Longoria with a 1-2 count and 2 down. Thompson a big lead. He had stepped off another half step on that throw over.
Look at Evan Longoria's hot zone, pretty much all over the place, down and away, certainly a hole, but he can hit. If that ball's in the strike zone, he's going to try to hit it hard. He's done a good job all year, all throughout his career in doing that. Of course, now with Jim Johnson having the lead, being ahead 1 ball, 2 strikes, this would be a good opportunity for them to steal because, you know, you get ahead of Longoria and then you have some pitches to work with.
Gets closer and closer over there.
Yeah, he keeps extending his lead.
Here's the 1-2. Runner goes. Pitch out. Throw by Waiters. Hey! Didn't get him. Oh! And Dino thought he had him. Buck Showalter's on his way out. Tim Timmons, second base umpire.
Well, that lead was about as big as you're going to see. Good jump there. Matt Waiters with the pitch out. Robert Andino with the slap tag, quick slap tag. He looked out from that vantage point. Waiters coming out throwing a strike. Boom, Andino in and out of there. Timmons in a good position as well. It's pretty close.
I think he got the call right.
Yeah?
I think he had his hand in.
Ooh. Close snap tag by Andino. Andino gets in and out of there. I don't know. I'm upset if I'm Andino as well.
Waiters thought he had him. That's as much reaction as we've ever seen out of Matt Waiters on the call right there. Wow.
Pretty good throw. Then again, I'd love to see Robert Andino straddling that base in that situation. The glove has just a little bit longer to go if you're out in front of the bag.
Now do you walk Longoria to get to Francisco? 2-2 down.
Just pitch carefully. I wouldn't intentionally walk him here. See if you can get him to bite on a pitch. Jim Johnson has a couple different weapons in his arsenal. Good breaking ball and changeup.
Play outside. Wieters blocks it. 3-ball, 2-strike count. I said Francisco. It's Fold actually who's on deck here. He came on to play for Francisco. Three, 2-2 away. Longoria waiting. Slow ground ball. Manny Machado barehanded. Don't throw it away. Don't throw it at all. What a great play to Hardy. And Wieters will put the tag on him.
Wow.
20 years old and knew exactly what to do. A shortstop converted to a third baseman at the major league level. Makes the biggest defensive play of his career and keeps this ball game tied at 2-2. The Orioles will try and win it in the bottom of the ninth.
Unbelievable game. I mean, both starting pitchers give up 2 runs. The battle offensively has been the same all night long. Both bullpens are outstanding. And I've just seen one of the best defensive plays I've ever seen. That third base in that last inning against the Tampa Bay Rays.
And if you believe in karma, Machado's about to lead off. Let's head back upstairs to Gary.
All right, Jim Rigg, let's see what happens here. That is, I agree with Rick. This is unbelievable.
What a great play. Fakes to throw to first. Catches a runner off guard right there, but great job by J.J. Hardy following up that play. Well executed rundown as well. Matt Wieters there to make the tag, but you just don't see young players make such heady plays in the game. J.J. Hardy's talked about him, such great court awareness on the field, and that was another example of just great instincts by a young player, Manny Machado.
Kyle Farnsworth comes on to pitch.
Yeah, Kyle Farnsworth was the closer last year for the Rays. Had a little bit of an elbow strain the first half of the year. Been used kind of sparingly, 22 2/3 innings pitched. Great numbers, though, against lefties and righties. 152 for the lefties, just 167 for the righties. Still considered a power pitcher. Can rush it up there around 97 if he wants, but works in the low to mid-90s with his 2-seam fastball.
And he's the chant. Bottom of the ninth inning. And that's going to go to left field. They were playing deep. It's a base hit. Machado is on. His first hit of the ball game, leading off the bottom of the ninth.
Why not, right? Crowd chanting Manny. Kyle Farnsworth comes in right off the end of the bat. Over aggressive, but finds a hole right there to spark things for the Orioles in the ninth.
Before we leave that play, I want to make sure, to me, Machado, unbelievable play, but the fact J.J. Hardy went over there and covered, I mean, that's the veteran out there who leads those kinds of things to get them done. I mean, there were a lot of shortstops who would have been looking around.
That's right.
Just watching the play. Hardy doesn't do that. And the two of them, the veteran and the youngster, may have made, well, they certainly made the play of the day so far.
Yeah.
Here's Andino, a single, 1 for 3. Pena. And a falling over. Manny Machado in the throw over. Hard throws by Farnsworth. Farnsworth, 36-year-old veteran, 13-year major league career. In at third base, Longoria. He is bunting to first. Great bunt. Play's got to go to the second baseman covering. Roberts there, sacrifice.
Great execution right there by Robert Andino. Certainly bunted it in the right position. Bunted to the first baseman, put some pressure on him.
There's the game winner, potentially. McLeod. Each team 9 hits in the ball game. Each team with 2 runs. 11 have been left on base by the Rays and 8 by the Orioles. Machado out at second and taking a long look around. Make sure nobody sneaks in behind him. McLeod waiting inside for a ball. McLeod facing Farnsworth for the first time. Zobrist will hold the runner at second, the shortstop jockeying back and forth. McLeod down the line in right field, and it's a fair ball. Machado will score. The Orioles win it 3-2 in the 9th inning. Better than that. 3 runs, 10 hits, no errors. The Orioles 291 for the Rays. Game-winning RBI. McLeod gets it 9th inning. Off the wall, fair by 6 inches. And from second base, scoring is Machado. Don't forget the sacrifice Andino laid down. That set that up. And a 3-2 win. Bottom of the 9th inning, they're playing in Boston. The Yankees still lead at 5-3. So the Orioles guaranteed at least of remaining tied with the Yankees for first, and another game where they put a little separation between themselves and Tampa Bay. The winner is going to be Jim Johnson. He gets the win. He's 2-1. Farnsworth the loser, 1-5, and Manny is with us. We'll let Manny take a deep breath for a moment. Congratulations. How about that ball game?
Crazy. I'm still out of breath, and it was a good game overall by both teams, and good pitching matchup, and we came out with the victory.
Manny, the play you made with Hardy at third base, that's one of the great defensive plays of the year for anybody. Have you worked on that? I mean, is that something you've talked to Hardy about?
No, that just came naturally. I know, and I had confidence in Hardy that he was going to be behind me, and I just pump fake to first, and then just threw to third.
It's now official. They all got it. Nate McLeod with a game-winning RBI, and Machado with a game-winning run. Pie around.
Wow, that doesn't get better.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. It doesn't get better, though.
Well, we were talking about the play at third base with Hardy. is that something that you talk about generally as a play that might be made, and both of you are online to do that?
No, that wasn't a design play. That just came naturally to both of us. We're both athletic, and it just turned out to be a great play. Did you ever think about throwing to first? Were you looking over there at all? I was, actually. Then I knew I wasn't going to have a shot at him, so might as well just pump fake and try to get that out on third. I know shortstop's been your position, but the way you're playing at third base, is that a new home for you? For now it is. It's having a blast over there. I'm enjoying it. How about the team? Just give me a comment on the team and how it's going right now as you enter the final 20 games of the year. Oh, it's going great. We're all fired up, and we're just going to continue this great success that we have. All right, Manny, congratulations on scoring the game-winning run and that great play at third. Thank you. Manny Machado. So the Orioles at least are going to remain tied for first. Jim and Rick will have an update on that Red Sox game. Tomorrow the Orioles are going to go for the sweep. Wei-Yin Chen against Jeremy Hellickson. Our coverage begins at 12 on MASN HD with those extra presented by Jeep, followed by our game action at 12:30. For Mike Mordig and all of our crew here at Camden Yards, I'm Gary Thorne. What a great baseball game. Orioles win it by a score of 3-2. This has been a MASN presentation. Jim and Rick, a look back at a great baseball game coming up right now. O's Extra. Adieu.